Unless we have any other business in this district, I say we head on down to the middle.
Stay on over.
Yeah, let's get to the crime scene.
Toodaloo.
Yeah. You guys make your way. It does take a little bit of time. I have rolls and tables and all that stuff for travel and charm, but fuck that shit. I would say it takes you guys about an hour, since I think you have to go both down and across. Not all the way across the city, mind you, but towards the middle. Takes you about an hour to go to the, and I think I've explained this a couple of times. There are both sky bridges, but the primary mode of transportation between levels like that are these various lift gates. And it's my understanding they can hold like 30 to 50 people at a time. Some of them are pretty big. They go up and down, and they're only in certain locations. Sometimes you have to cross whole districts to get to a lift gate to go up or down. But you guys make your way down to one of the middle districts where, perhaps for the first time in a good while, you found yourself in a location that looks a lot like a regular city. You're kind of in that perfect spot where there are grass and parks and streets, and you're low enough that you can't tell that there's miles of city beneath you. But high enough that you're not absolutely cloistered by all of the towers and stuff. There is still some sky to be seen. You guys make your way to the crime scene. Haven't been told where it is. You guys get down there, and there are thankfully no official-looking persons around. Doesn't take you guys too long to find one of the nicer parks and one of the, not in the middle especially, not an elite wealthy district, but pleasant district, a park area. You guys do eventually find, upon coming to the crime scene, a kind of lowered section. You have to walk down a flight of steps down into this kind of, not concave. It is lower down from the rest of the area. It is somewhat secluded. It almost looks like at one time it might have been a spring of some kind. Anyone that's been to a natural spring kind of knows what I'm talking about. They're built into these big rectangular holes in the ground, essentially. As you guys make your way down there, you can still see blood marks. Not a black streak, but a large black stained area. You guys were told that the body was kind of charred to a crisp, and you guys can see where that must have happened. There is a very large kind of black stain on one section of the concrete. Other than that, it does seem like a mostly pleasant area. There, besides the dried blood that is still there, there's not anybody there or anything going on.
Can Deimos take a moment to ritual cast detect magic to see, like, look at the ashes and see if he can identify what kind of spell or magical effect might have done this?
Sure.
Okay. We'll do that. Do you want me to make any check with that? Or?
Let's see. Yeah. So, detect magic. Interesting. Let me think about this. So you do catch kind of the faintest whiffs. You gather at one time this was a spring, but magically fed. At some point in the past, the enchantment that produced the water seems to have faded. Which is why this kind of oddly lowered and secluded area of this park exists. I like to imagine it's all concrete. So little odd to now that you realize it's no longer a spring. No longer an artificial spring. And I would say, oh man, the kind of spell? So, we'll put some stuff together here. I'm going to say that Deimos, you being an experienced magician, carrying several wands, you kind of gather from the ash, I don't want to call it that, it doesn't necessarily wipe off with your fingers. It has been a long time since this happened. But you don't get that kind of magical residue like you get from the rest of the spring off of this ashed stained area. And I would think Deimos could gather that either implies that the burning happened chemically, or that perhaps a wand or some other artifact was used. Would anyone else like to take a look around the area?
My investigation is garbage, but I'm curious about, what's around here for sure.
I've got a 3 for investigation, but it's not super solid.
Well, I only got a +1, but I feel like Drix would want to check everything out. from like an investigative standpoint.
Can we all make a check since we're all here together looking, or do you want to cap it?
Yeah, it'll have to be the 2 rolls
We'll just
maximum, regardless of how y'all work
whoever
that
has the
out.
highest.
Thanks,
2 to
bounded
perception.
accuracy.
How
I've got
does
3 to investigation.
how does Deimos have
Mine's just
better
the
investigation than all of us?
+2.
Intelligence.
Intelligence.
Suck.
Because he pays attention.
I'm a dumb
Not enough apparently. But this is really
I'll give
important.
I'll give advantage to Deimos. Let him roll twice.
Let's see another one, Demos.
And add a D4. I'm gonna give you guys.
Oh, thank God. I was about to burn a lucky point.
Oh,
That's what I'm talking about.
that's cool. I'll be able to not
My
have to
computer's
lose
freezing up. You'll have to roll it.
White as much. He rolled it. He got it.
All right.
He got 23, not 20. Demos, after a little bit of looking around, you kind of you think about the area you're in. You think about the spot you're in. You walk around and you actually find what appear to be remnants of cloth. And as you pick it up, kind of run it through your hands, it hits you what you're holding. It seems to be the remnants of a bedroll. You look around at the blood, the amount of blood stains, the kind of distance that you see. You guys were told that he didn't seem to be expecting attack, and you realize after finding the cloth and this kind of, there's a word for it. There's a word for like the dead leaves and detritus. It may not be the right pronunciation. That kind of litters the floor of the forest. Find a very similar substance like that. Demos with that 20 realizes they are at one time were probably flowers or plants. And Demos substrate, good word. Takes you a minute to put together that he was likely meeting someone here. Members of the clergy often expected to be chased.
Service by hookers. Sorry.
Say it again. What'd you say?
Service by hookers. But what?
I was gonna say chased. So that perhaps he was meeting someone, was not expecting an attack, was meeting someone here, perhaps intimately. And this was where he came to have those particular meetings.
Came.
Yeah, we came here, all right. That's evident.
Yeah,
Those are
they're
different
wrong.
stains, but they can tell a story.
But you gather that it seems like there must have been a missing body, judging on the amount of blood you see, dried blood you see in the area.
Deimos will relay this. It seems priest, clergyman, and I understand. You know, it's one thing if you're chased for life, but if you have some and then you try to give it up, I understand that's a hard ask. Seems like he was meeting somebody to catch up on some of his favorite sin.
You think it might have been set up?
Very well could be, or we could have a second victim that we haven't identified, and perhaps she's the reason he is the reason this attack occurred, rather than Oswald. Very curious.
Because he was not following his vows?
Well, I'm saying that perhaps the people who came and did this weren't looking for Oswald; they were looking for the person he was meeting.
Companion.
Yeah, still could be.
He was the innocent bystander. Not
Potentially. Not. I don't have any.
A witness eliminated.
We have any? We didn't hear any. We know he ran with similar a small circle. They told us they knew some of his old contacts, or no, maybe that he just stayed in touch with his contacts.
No, they knew he had that kind of past, but that was about all they knew. They don't know anything about the actual, aside from it being a very small group. That's why I use the word amateurs. You know, they didn't know anything beyond that, besides where he used to hang out.
A name of the organization?
That's how, they didn't even have a name. It was, think of it like him and his friends trying to make a difference in the world. Kind of
shit. That's what we did, and we already branded. I mean, what you think?
It could be that
but it took us 4 years.
He could have backslid and gotten to something over his head, maybe.
Well, and I wonder, so we talked about, well, they only found one body and it was charred up, right? You said that there was enough blood here to suggest there might have been another victim, but is there enough blood here to suggest that the victim died here?
Or even that the body we have is Oswald?
Or that it was one body completely drained.
You're looking awfully thirsty over there. Oh God, he's back.
Yeah, your goblin's taking up on you again.
No, but
I I guess that's something we
I
hadn't
think
thought about though. Legitimately, is like it's just a charred body. What
Have they-
Are there
identified
any
him as
dental
the right
records?
person?
we tried to tell you, Brandon. I had to let him scare you. You did it to yourself. That's so
Can we
funny.
actually? Can we? Is there a way we can actually see the body, or is it just on the floor in an ash pile?
I would say by now it would probably be common sense to most of you the body would have been disposed of. Having there not being morgues in the same way that we have in the modern day. It's
From our
been
dis-
enough
That's
time.
kind of where I was going with it. Yeah. Like
From our
there's like
discussion
a
with
crypt or something.
from our discussion with Yatana, damn it.
Mhm.
Okay, Yatana. From our discussion with her, do we know if they verified his identity or they just
You didn't
dark
ask.
lanterns maybe?
You didn't ask, but I don't know if you would know that. But roll a d20 or pick odd or even.
Odd or even? We always go odd.
Final answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the fucking tradition.
Praise the
Goddamn
Lord.
fucking.
That's why we pick odd.
I pick odd because I'm odd.
Same.
Yeah.
Demos, Demos, I think you would have we'll call it the street
Also prime
smarts.
numbers. I want to say.
Street smarts to realize that most of the time they probably wouldn't dig that deep into something.
We I think we have I think Oswald might still be out there. Randy, your dear friend that you were so concerned about, that he might still be alive.
Oh shoot! If we find him, I'm gonna kill him.
It's very Randy.
Wow.
Randy.
Anything else you guys would like to discern while you're here, or anywhere else you would like to go from here?
Anyone else have any particular spells or abilities or anything that might for some information? I'm trying to rack my brain.
Yeah, me too. I'm not used to being a spellcaster.
So head to the hideout.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I can't think of anything else to look for here. He
Alright.
said it was an amateur group, so I'm assuming that like there wouldn't be any kind of like. Maybe we'll wait till we get to the area. I'm curious if there's anything related to like a thieves' cant or thieves' cant-esque clue somewhere around their hideout that might help.
That's a good point.
Good
We
point.
can keep our eyes peeled on the way there.
Should we all show up together?
The old hideout. Fair point. Well, I don't want us to be too separated. If we have some guys on the inside who want to try their hand at sneaking in first, I'm okay with that. I want to be nearby.
Yeah, right. Definitely within message range, talking range, one round of combat range.
I speak fluent Thrakreen, so we could certainly make that happen between me and the boys if y'all head in there.
I talked to Echo specifically, and I'm like, he absolutely does not speak fluent Thrakreen, but that's besides the point.
I kind of gathered.
Mi zapatos es Peggy Hill.
We teach them wrong words on purpose. It's pretty
Pat him on the head. Pretty good there, little partner. You keep working on it. We'll get there.
They've been teaching Deimos.
All I
nothing
heard
but
was
cuss words.
shoes.
Oh boy.
You're doing it click. It's more of a clack. You know what I'm talking about?
Like
from the
chutzpah.
back, from the back.
Chutzpah.
What you-
I think you just cut on me.
L'chaim.
I wish I was as l'chaim as he was.
Very good. Okay. I enjoyed that whole skit. You guys make your way
Put
down
it on
even.
TikTok. Make a TikTok skit.
We're gonna have to make that a job eventually. I think Ben
Eventually.
volunteered. Ben, I think you may have mentioned that. You.
Oh, yeah.
There's
We'll get you a clip, or I'll try to
tons
get
of
you.
D&D stuff.
Oh yeah, it's a good market.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, fucking shit. TikTok skit. The callback there, Brandon. You got me. Sorry.
See if we can get Ben a
I'm
clip.
glad you
Someone
appreciate it.
get your green highlight this session. You guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'll wait till the end before I take the green highlight from people. You guys make your way down into the lower levels of Sharn, and to the much less well-to-do and the much more squalor field sections of Sharn. You kind of get down into this perpetual state of twilight as you get deeper into the city, and the towers around you block out most of the daylight. It's not quite dark. It's maybe 5 in the afternoonish or so, but down here in the depths of Sharn, it definitely feels like dusk. Perpetual dusk. Sorry, like
Feels
that
like
word.
9 in the afternoon, maybe.
Oh god.
Eyes the size of the moon.
God, Jesus Christ, man.
Caught a vibe.
You know,
Wow.
I was avoiding making that
Visceral
comment.
reaction.
I really was.
It's a bop.
Anytime that song comes on, I'm immediately like, I'm so sad, but also really amped up.
Yeah, right.
It's good.
Fun.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Red Jumpsuit Apparatus too.
Oh,
All right.
God. I'm sad, but I'm gonna run about it.
Yeah. Gonna go pump iron because I'm sad. You guys make your way down and eventually do make your way to the area where you were told this abandoned inn is. Since you're told where it is, you don't have to make any rolls. I am going to hand the reins back to you guys about 150 feet from this building. You guys kind of round one of the street corners and you can see it down the alleyway. It may be more like a road, but this down deep into the depths, I like to imagine it feels like a rather large alleyway. And Mantis, you are at liberty to approach as you would like.
From this distance, does it appear to be occupied? Do we see lights? We know it's an abandoned inn, but do we see any sign of inhabitants?
I would say that as you guys have journeyed through here, there are some buildings entirely dark, and some buildings that do seem to have light inside. You can imagine if you leave a dusk-filled area and move inside, it gets pretty dark. So it seems to be like most. There are several places with lights and several without. From this distance, I would say it's a little bit difficult to tell. You might have to get a little closer if you wanted to be able to determine if the light you can see is from that particular building or just adjacent buildings.
I care if
So,
this.
I'm going to pair up
Okay.
with Drix and kind of take the lead and kind of pretend like I'm a tour guide pointing out different things and kind of being head scout. Yeah, here you could see the old Ravenclaw house. Yeah, but like not like talking too loud where people hear, but just kind of trying not to draw attention, but we're kind of paired up and kind of separate-ish. 10, 20, 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
I just love the idea of somebody taking somebody to like a shitty neighborhood in New York and like, yeah, and this is where in 1792 George
16
Washington
people.
backhanded his secretary.
Exactly.
All right. So
You
what I
see
think we're
that
gonna do-
subscribe button right there, and across there's the like one. You could just
Just
smash
smash.
that anytime you like.
Yeah.
Brandon
I think
gets the
there's a
green
bell
highlight.
icon
Or if you're
around
on
here.
mobile, it's down here. If you're mobile, you know.
All right, Brandon, you win the green highlight. All right. That's 2 for Brandon. All right.
Trophy.
Congratulations. At the end of next campaign, I'm not a DM. I want to track like how many kills, how many deaths everyone has. Like it would be, it'd be neat.
How many
Statistician.
sellouts? How
Would
many
we do
shills?
that as a character or as a player?
As a character. Like I would want to like
Okay.
Ooh, play of the week kind of thing.
well, play of the week, like overall deaths, overall kills, if I could manage it, if I could pay attention to the videos that well. How many times you've dropped. Like there are several like game time stats that would be so cool to have a dashboard for.
Those would be cool.
And then we get
like,
little player cards at the end.
Listen,
It'll be
Like,
cool.
every time you feel
We can print them out.
But
Let me know.
nobody needs to know how many kills I had this week as a player. That's between me and the universe.
thank God.
As
I
far
think
as
that-
total kills, I can see why Devin
Oh,
didn't
hey,
want to do
God.
this last campaign.
Oh yeah, Goldbrand will be embarrassed. Fucking Davos kill stealing all his kills. Anyway,
But for real,
Here's what we're
what
gonna
Ben
do.
said, like kill of the week, fucking put that on shit on TikTok. Here's the fucking play of the game, you know?
that's a great idea.
Yep.
God,
Mhm.
y'all
To
guys
the
I like
left eyeball socket.
I'm
I spent the
coming
last
for 10 votes.
6 weeks
Echo.
trying to not be excited about Appalachian Dragons. Y'all have to stop.
All right, listen.
had
I call dibs on splitting the bone naga in half and also literally disintegrating a creature with a booming blade. That's it. That's all I want.
Pretty solid.
fuck. We do have like years of material to pull plays of the week out of. Oh god. All right. Well, sounds like we're gonna start a TikTok.
That would be a hell of a
It
I
concept.
would say moving forward, let's try not to retro it unless we just have that much free time.
I think for
Well,
this campaign that would be fine because we've only edited 3 episodes. So as we go through, like
Yeah,
this
right.
is a good one to pull. But
Right.
like
Somebody.
I
Yes.
agree, going through Storm King's Thunder would be dense.
We could have a business meeting about our social media marketing scheme after this.
Exactly.
Or
Yes, let's
next
do it,
week.
let's
Edit this
investigate. Let's investigate.
It's fine. We're gonna keep
Die
y'all on
out. We're
track.
at the hideout.
Y'all go stop. I've already
Yeah,
decided
so-
we're staying up late because we started late, and I don't have anything to do tomorrow except get drunk
Thanks,
and watch the
Randy.
Tennessee game.
Sorry.
I'm gonna have to have
That's
some
an
coffee.
NFC game.
I had to
Tennessee
experience
game.
my culture.
Oh,
Okay,
Tennessee
calm down.
game.
It's fine.
Yeah, Mr. Mustache over there. You get a life achievement for winning that competition.
For real, though.
Like,
That's
That was,
solid.
by the way,
Oktoberfest? Hell
I
yeah.
didn't want to do that. They like literally, my wife was like, "You have to go up there," and then one of the people working the event was like, "You."
Sorry, internet. Our resident Josh won a best mustache competition.
Yeah.
The
And I
man.
got a shirt. It
Anyway.
was pretty cool. And
It is
kinda
pretty
weird.
cool. Anyway, here's what we're gonna do. Randy, I need you to make a stealth check with advantage because you carapissed. You're gonna move up, however, I guess a maximum of 30 feet.
You're a Pistons.
Thanks for the advantage.
Carapissed, Drix,
Hey.
and Echo. I need both of you to please make perception checks because Echo specifically said he's trying to lead scout. He wants to look around.
To be fair, everybody
Thank
just
you.
sees Echo walking by himself and like pointing
Aw.
at shit. Nobody even sees Randy. Like,
well, he's with Drix.
I'm a
Echo-
rambling
I'm sorry,
homeless.
Drix.
Yeah, Echo's with Drix. 11, 18, 20. Oh, okay, good. 27.
Oh,
Randy, you can
earlier, I see.
you can move. I guess you could technically move up to 60 feet if you really wanted to. I'm gonna be liberal about that, since we're not in combat. Tell me here in a second. Tell me how many feet you would like to move up under that stealth score. 11 and 8. Echo and Drix. It is very hard to see down here in the dark, even with your night vision. So those of you that don't know, dark vision is black and white. So that does make it in a dusk-like environment. It does make it very difficult to see. Everything just kind of
Never
looks gray. I would say with those rolls, you guys gather that this section of street seems to be fairly deserted. You don't hear a lot of sounds in any of the adjacent buildings. You also, I'm going to say, I guess the best I can give you for an 11 is that this appears to be a fairly rough section of this ward. You are I don't know if that's PC to say, so I'm not going to say it.
It's two things I want to. So I'm going to
That's exactly
move
what
up
you're gonna
about
say.
as far as I can, which I guess is about 60 feet away. Would that be ahead of the rest of the group, or
So would it be like a swum or?
Slum's a good word.
and okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
we all know. We all
The
know
reason,
what you
the
said.
reason I wanted to move
Busted out the
ahead-
thesaurus, bro. I'm just like,
That was good. I like the synonym.
the
So,
reason I
yeah,
wanted to
no,
move
60,
ahead-
if you moved a whole 60 feet, you would be a whole 60 feet ahead of them. This is how
Okay.
far ahead of the group you want to be.
So to clarify,
right.
the reason I wanted to do this was to sort of scout ahead a little bit to see if there were any like people lurking in weird places, or if it looked like this building actually was occupied potentially, or more or
Maybe-
less to make sure there
Yeah,
wasn't going to
yeah.
be any obstacles betwing the party and where we're going and what we're
Yeah.
trying to do.
Go ahead. Go ahead and
Maybe
make
you
your
at
perception check.
60 and then Echo and Drix at 30. And this way you're like far enough ahead to where they can still get to you in a round. But, you know.
Randy, you're a little too sketched out by the environment. You're seeing like there's like at least 3 instances where you think someone's lurking in the shadows about to get you, and it's not anything.
cat in the
a
trash
cat.
can.
I
Or...
was about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Just telepathically shoot back screaming, just nothing but like, oh god, what's that?
Who's that?
But moving up a little further, Randy, I would say if you move the whole 60 feet, you would eventually be able to gather that there do seem to be a small amount of light coming from the building you guys are looking at, the abandoned inn. It doesn't seem like the whole place is lit by any means, but there's, like many of the other buildings, a little bit of light somewhere in the interior.
All right, sort of shoot back like, all right, keep scooting. I think there's a little bit of maybe candlelight or something small coming from down in here. Somebody's in there, probably.
Deimos will
Let's move
mention
on.
to Zephyr, since we're in the back. Perhaps we should throw up our hoods just to be a little. We're pretty standoffish. Excuse me, standoutish. Just
I
trying to
mean,
lay
can be
low.
both.
Fucking Echo flips up his hoodie
Can
that,
be
of course, he
both.
has.
Why does Echo have a hoodie? I missed that joke. It's
He's
okay.
just the
I
emo sad
always
boy. Like
have one.
Yeah,
emo sad boy is the little.
I notoriously always
fun.
had a hoodie. Yeah,
Always.
Yeah, I'm remembering the time
Check.
when I'm remembering the years when I wore like a black Aeropostale jacket with a hood. It was too big for me for like ever. Anyway, I don't know if I'm being swooshed or if you're being swooshed. That's okay. I'm used to being swooshed.
That's
My
what the
life.
swoosh means. Yeah.
It's my life. All right. Are you guys? Sounds like you guys are going to move a little closer. You know.
Yeah.
Proceed,
Oh,
but
yeah,
at a gap
let's go. Let's go.
30 feet from
Close the gap.
central group.
I want to keep scouting ahead a little bit if I can, just to mention.
Yeah, so it'll be like 30, 30, 30.
Okay. Let me think about
Kinda
this. Let me think about how we're going to do this. Y'all are a little staggered. Y'all are a little. All right. Does anyone have anything they want to do before you get within 60 feet of the building?
I kind
You're
of
asking.
had a plan
Yeah, the way you ask it.
of
I'm just,
walking.
I just picked that one because you're gonna have to make stealth checks again eventually. But I want you guys to have the opportunity.
Oh,
If you have something with longer range, you want to do something specific that you don't have to be inside of that range. Now is your chance to do those things before you get close enough for me to ask for another stealth check. You can think about it for 10 seconds if I have time to pee, or if you're ready to go now, let's hear it.
Echo said he had
I
a
mean,
plan,
I'd like to-
so you can go pee while I hear his plan if you want. It's up to you.
I like to do my carapace, so at some point
Carapace?
before we get into
Carapace
the
hurt?
building.
Hurt?
I think.
Yeah, I was thinking I would walk past the inn and the first alleyway, kind of stake out outside, and possibly summon my echo behind me if it couldn't be seen, just to kind of like
So
make sure we don't get ambushed from outside.
you're thinking like
If-
casually pass by and then sort of hang out in the alley behind to see if somebody comes in and out, or if anybody's curious about why there are people nearby.
Right. I didn't think 6 of us walking in there would be good.
I could. Pop
I
a
could also
spell
wild
slot.
shape into something.
5 of
That's
us.
a good point.
I keep forgetting I have wild shape. I never use it.
I can pop a spell slot to do detect magic and see if there's anything given off.
That's
It
not
lasts for
bad.
10 minutes, so we can do that to kind of sweep the property once we're in. But
Yeah, that's not bad. I'm gonna treat
Yeah, that's the only thing I had though.
as effectively invisible. I mean, I'm not, but I could be.
it's so hard you got to take a long exhale afterward.
It's just, I don't know. I think it's just D&D. It, got to use lots of
XP?
bandwidth. Lots of D&D. Just the amount of bandwidth it takes sometimes is great. Makes me have to.
So here's so we think Echo is going to do a walk by. Echo and Drix, I assume. I'm going to
I'm
pop
gonna go.
detect magic, and I think that Echo might, excuse me, Drix might wild shape. That's what we talked about.
I was-
You're caught up.
I was thinking about it. Well, like I was just to be stealthy. My stealth's already pretty high, and I'm also going to be semi-invisible anyway. So I might just use my symbiotic entity, so I don't have to use it before combat. If we essentially get on.
I'm not gonna prepare anything. I'm just gonna continue to try to sneak towards the building while Echo. Well, that just raises
You
a
said-
question, right? Because weren't you escorting Drix through the area? Wouldn't it be weird if he just sort of like effectively disappears?
Well, if no one was visibly watching us, or
We could
that
we could say our goodbyes and split up.
yeah, just get back. I'll get in touch with my agent if you want to put in an offer for one of these. I mean, great location. Just
Stop.
you have my
Oh, yeah.
contact.
I'll have my people call your people. So
Am
we'll work something out.
In my headcanon, I imagine that you disappear and then Zephyr just like sort of slides into your slot and he's now giving a tour to Zephyr. The area.
We are
Okay.
in dark vision territory. You said.
No, regular people can see at dusk. I was more kind of alluding to the idea that those that can see in the dark only see in black and white, which makes things weird to see sometimes.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't have dark vision.
You're not blind or anything like that. Okay, so what's happening first? Echo's making his walk by. What's
Yeah, I
your
was gonna
intention?
walk past the door and in the first alleyway, kind of like just cut in there and keep an eye out for anybody running in or getting ambushed.
Okay. Okay. There is an alleyway. Let me look at this map to see if there's. So
And I was gonna also summon my echo if like behind me into the alley. That way I don't have to waste a bonus action.
okay, let me clarify real quick. So it looks like there would be an alleyway on either side of this abandoned tavern. Are you going to duck into an alleyway immediately adjacent to the building, or are you going to do like the alleyway down?
The alleyway, same side, past it. And as I'm walking past, if there is anything I might see, perception,
Yeah, go ahead and make your perception check.
even if it's just how many people. Hell yeah.
There does seem to be you when you walk by, you can see the light flickering in a way that kind of leads you to believe someone has started a fire inside. Not so much a torch or sconces or chandeliers or anything like that. Someone must have piled up wood somewhere in the building to make a fire, to try to produce light for not most of the building, I guess, even, but in an attempt to make one big light source. 17.
All right.
It's
And then I duck
eerily,
into the alley.
eerily quiet. Okay, you duck into the alleyway. And again, that's... I'm sorry, I didn't understand your response earlier. Is that the alleyway next to that building?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just past it.
Okay. Just passing. Okay.
Since he's 30 feet ahead of us, as he's passing, we're rolling up, and I'm going to pop a spell slot to do Detect Magic and just see if I get a vibe on anything
Caw.
How...
within 30
Oh.
feet of the...
And this is why. So this is while you're also walking past it. Is that what I'm understanding? Is that how?
Yeah, we were like in 3 tiers. Randy was right up front, and then Drix and
Yeah.
Echo, and then me and Zephyr in the back. So
Okay,
as
so-
he's passing it, we're coming up on it and passing it as well.
Okay. And he ducks into the alleyway while y'all would be, probably at the middle of it when he ducks into the alleyway or whatever. Drix, are you ducking in the alleyway with him?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna reveal some map real quick and then put you guys on the map so that you guys have a little bit of an idea about this alleyway. If I can find the fucking reveal button.
Wait, I'm gonna try to find like a side entrance to infiltrate or something
Okay.
of that nature.
Randy,
Did you want to do
were
the alley before?
Oh yeah, let me scout it. Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go
on
Randy,
the
first.
same
you
side.
were ahead of everybody. What did you
Was.
say? How are you going to do this?
I mean,
Or
my
how are
thought
you?
was I was gonna try if we could see a light source. My thought was that maybe there was something like we could actually see a window or like something off to the side where we could actually see if there were any people, sort of in the general lower tier of the facility.
So I won't make you roll a check to realize that you don't see any people through the window. Let me see where would I put this fire. You probably could see the fire. I would say even Drix and Echo as you guys are walking by. The fire seems to be where the... I guess it's an inn, so it's probably where the fire would be when it was actually an inn. It's probably in the hearth in the front room of the inn, the big room where the tables would have been. There's a hearth. It's where the fire seems to be coming from. Let's see if this
Did Randy see any thieves' camp along the way or on the end?
Ooh,
Since he mentioned that earlier.
ooh.
Thank you for reminding me.
Let's think about that one.
That
Yeah,
was better
sorry.
thrycreen than Deimos has ever spoken, by the way.
Sorry,
That was too meta, yeah.
sometimes my brain goes in like 4 different directions at once, and I've got to make it slow down and pick one.
No
or two.
apology needed. That's why I reminded.
You grab
Even-
the trains.
even Randy forgot.
I straight up did forget.
So-
I forgot I was looking for thieves' camp. Sorry.
I moved you guys to this map. Congratulations, you found a map. You guys should be able to see the outer alleyways and the very front of the... can y'all see anything? There should be some stuff revealed.
Yeah, it looks like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
vampire's house.
I
I'm
was-
definitely staying away.
So this is...
Yeah, we can
let
see
me,
that.
where's my finger? Can y'all see everything? Surely not.
No.
Yeah,
just the
I can see
outside,
everything.
like the very outer edge.
Yeah,
Yeah, so this, if you
Okay.
scroll down to the bottom, that's the road you guys are walking across right here in the very south of the map. So you guys are in one of these two alleyways. I guess it depends on which way you would have approached. I'm not picky. They're both right up against the building. Um, I'm sorry, I got distracted trying to do all of that. Randy, you can tell there seems to be a fire burning in the hearth. This is actually the hearth. I think you guys will be able to tell from the outside. This right here. You guys, I think, should be able to tell that there seems to be a couple of holes in the wall. Like, it's pretty run down and ramshackle. Maybe it's not easy to tell. Let me reveal one more little thing here for you guys. You guys can see from the outside, there are a couple of sections like this section down here to the south where the wall is missing. I'm going to reveal a couple of more areas to make it a little clear that there are sections of the sections of this place that it's pretty run down. There we go. Maybe a little clearer for y'all to see that there are sections. I'm realizing y'all can't see a lot of the wall now because I suck at this. There we go. Maybe now y'all can
It's
tell.
rough. Hard to do.
It is rough. It's all rough. Anyway, what else? Was there something else you wanted to do? I'm doing several things and can't listen the whole time. Something else you want to do besides look for a light source since you were ahead of everybody? Where are you going to park yourself where are you when they duck into the alley?
I did so the alley's back here, right? It's the sort of narrow side of the building. Is that what I'm understanding?
This is my understanding. Yes. My understanding is that they came from the direction Demos is in and ducked into this alley.
Okay. I think I actually want to sort of sit. Well, does anything look like it would have been a primary entrance? Like, would it have been
Man,
here in this open area?
if you're right there, you can see a good bit of stuff with a fire burning in the hearth. 1 second.
'Cause my thought was I'm going to be kind of brazen with a carapace going on and just hope that I can blend into the environment enough to, peek in and actually see what it is we're dealing with.
So, it is pretty rough. Bloop. You do see broken, busted tables. It definitely does not look hospitable anymore. You gather a lot of the broken tables and stuff are being used to, I think you could probably see back into this corner, being used to fuel the hearth. You don't see anybody, but you can tell the fire is coming from I can't ping anymore, from the hearth over here. But you don't see any people per se. Now I need to roll back to Randy. That's what he did. That's what Drix and Echo did. Demos, you're casting Detect Magic. Will you place yourself from where you would like to cast that?
Well, I'm gonna cast it like it lasts for 10 minutes, so I'm gonna cast it as I'm walking up to the building. Or 10 minutes, excuse me. Yeah, 10 minutes.
What's the range it can detect things? Is it 30 feet or 60 feet? 30 feet? Show me my ruler. 30 feet from you. You better move your token because I'm going to measure from your token.
Well, we're doing this as we're walking by. We're following everybody else. But as we do it, Deimos is gonna slip his arm through Echo's and be like, "Oh, this would be the perfect place to start our bakery."
Talking about Zephyr or Echo? Because Echo is over here.
I'm sorry, I keep saying the wrong names. Zephyr, my apologies.
I'm hurt.
Well, it's been our dream to start a gluten-free bakery.
Zephyr's like, I'm so much prettier. So much prettier than Echo. Okay, so if you're from here,
Just here. Gay.
Deimos is like, yes, you're twice as pretty, but there's literally two of him. I mean, you have to, Statistically, I'm more likely to get the name right if I say Echo. That's all I'm saying.
Echo.
Okay. Demos, you don't catch any magic as you're walking across the street there.
As we're walking by, can we get another glimpse in? Because we're going to do the same thing and walk by and maybe not dip immediately into this alley since we're not as stealthy, but walk by a little bit and maybe stop in front of the next building or in the area.
So I guess this is what you're wanting to see. As you were walking by, I would have seen into the rest of this building here.
Yeah, and so I think this is where I would probably want to have also been thinking about like any kind of signs or thieves' can or anything like that to sort of, because why is there a fire burning in a building that nobody's in, right? So I'm looking for any kind of signals or signs or anything that's pointing to something else going on besides just a random fire burning tables.
I'm not gonna make you make a roll for this because thieves can't a class ability. So there would be a variety of things varying in age. You would probably see some. You might first thing Randy might notice might be directions to a Tarkanan hideout, or at least the beginning of a direction to a Tarkanan hideout. If you remember last time, you had to follow several different clues. You would also see what Randy gathers to have been maybe a name or a symbol that represented Oswald's group, some kind of I don't want to call them
Insignia?
resistance. Yeah, no, I don't want to call them resistance fighters, but a symbol Randy would recognize as people who are justice warriors, maybe for lack of a better term. I don't really know whether they not necessarily evil people, but people who definitely thought they were fighting the man, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, the people who release the monkeys that are getting experimented on just to find out that they take over the planet and kill us all.
Sure.
Yeah, those guys.
And there might be a smattering of other very small crime organizations. Or not just the small ones, but the Dask and the Dask and the Boromar may have a couple of thieves' camp pieces, and especially in a lower section like this, you don't see anything that marks it as an organized hideout. You gather if they are still there, they are very much an amateur group that has not quite. They don't have that kind of reach to be putting cant all over sections of town.
I say we go in.
Yeah, I was literally gonna say, like, based on that, I think I would literally just walk inside.
Yeah, just start one.
Deimos and Zephyr Deimos drags Zephyr up behind Echo and like, is it ready for us to put the buns in the oven?
The yeast man. What about the yeast?
Interesting. You guys do have like little communication earrings or wristbands, whatever I decided. Necklaces. I don't remember what I
No,
decided.
I whisper
they
this
are.
into his ear. I want it to be as
Walks up behind him with hands on the shoulder.
I say we can all communicate with the Cordos spores because you all have them technically.
Are we getting an extra 1d4 to all of our rolls because of whatever weird communication? I don't know. Baldur's Gate.
Guidance.
Voice of the mic and
Voice of the mic, and it's a cool ass name for an ability.
+4.
All right. Here's
Oh god.
The map moved.
The whole map.
Yeah,
just
sorry.
shifted.
Sorry, that's me. I'm adjusting y'all's tokens to kind of be the same size. I have stretched this map really big, so please use your ruler to move. At the risk, is it? Oh, that's a really good point. Done. Some of these maps were made months ago. Fuck you. At the risk of incurring your anxiety, who goes in first?
Marching order.
Okay.
Deimos in the middle.
Yeah, I'm also hiding in the corner, so I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna take a flanking route. Like if I know people are going in, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I'd say
a
like
slightly different angle.
since we're both carapacing, I'd say like both Drix and Randy both go in at different angles.
Perfect. Drix and Randy, please
Crawling
move
on the walls.
Drix and Randy, please move your tokens. Make stealth checks for me, please.
I'm gonna move. Hold on, let me check distance on this. Right there.
You guys
I get. What does it matter?
I'm
I get 20
moving.
Nice.
I'm treating this
All
like
right,
we're in combat, so I only move 30 feet. I don't know if I'm allowed to move more than that.
All right, so that's a 14 instead.
30 feet is good.
And
Deimos
also,
no longer has guidance.
you should have an advantage, right?
Would my
Is there
Echo
carapace?
need to make
Ooh,
a
yeah,
stealth?
yeah, because I have my carapace. That's right. Thank you, Randy.
7. If my Echo wanted to
Yes.
go in, would I need to make a stealth check for that?
Not even a whisper.
It's a very good
Awesome.
question.
I like to
I mean,
think with
it's
true chronomancy, the Echo can occupy the same space as him. If they're just
that'd be cool.
like if he if it's like 6 seconds behind and he just stands in the same spot for 6 seconds, it just stands
It
there.
does specify unoccupied though. It says it's a magical, translucent gray image of me.
I guess it's more of an illusion than it is a.
Yeah, so
Oh.
it's weird to think of an
not
illusion
really.
making a stealth check, but like at the same time, like would it use his stats? Would it? Have you already manifested it? Like if you
Yes.
didn't. Okay, I didn't hear
Did
you say it
immediately.
earlier. Like
Yeah, when I said when I got to the alley, if I
you
could
could make
manifest
it.
the echo, I'd do it
Yeah,
too.
roll a stealth check like it was you.
Have we ever thought
Okay.
about using the echo like a minor illusion but better? Like distract the enemy.
Yeah, it's a minor
And
illusion that
just
can punch somebody.
so there's no concern about what's good, I'm gonna step in right beside this table here, move 10 feet there. So does that mean 2 stealth checks?
No, one stealth check is fine.
Oh, that sucked. Sorry.
That's okay.
Ooh.
Oh man.
I guess I also need to make one, and I'd like to scan the room if I can.
Well,
Oh God, we are fucking this up real bad.
quite a few things are gonna happen.
Anybody in here?
Can I roll
Well,
again
here's
with my
the-
advantage for a nat 20 to see if I can counteract their stealth checks?
Yeah, here's the problem, y'all. And it doesn't catch everybody, but Drix and Randy, y'all were the first two in. As soon as you walk in, it's pretty apparent they were prepared. Several things happen at once.
Don't say that.
Well, y'all will hopefully find out some shit. Those were some very good stealth rolls that I'm very sad that y'all rolled so well.
Mhm.
There was
During
one
it-
good stealth roll.
During an instance where y'all will see, they pop out. So, bloop,
Hey, we're friends of
Bloop.
Oswald. Don't shoot.
bloop, bloop.
Don't shoot. We're
Um,
friends of Oswald.
and and
Yeah.
here's something I'm gonna say. Drix and Randy, you guys both understand pretty much immediately something's very wrong. You guys were immaculate in your approach, extremely quiet, carapaced into the accuracy with which they target you guys, even though your carapaced is not quite right.
Something's fishy, Randy.
Something fishy. And they are
As,
going
as
to.
God said earlier, I'm pissed about this.
You should be.
That's a mug. I'm carapaced.
Carrot pissed off.
That would be a good mug. All right, here we go, y'all. I gotta start this encounter. I gotta look at some stuff before I start this encounter. We're gonna roll some. We are gonna roll some initiative because Randy and Drix, as you guys walk into the building, the rest of the group not quite entered the building behind you. Just before this they look like a very ragtag group of adventurers. I would think like level 2 or 3, and they don't look like you guys for sure. They look like you guys did before you got together. Just before all these guys begin to kind of pop out behind the corners they were hiding in, Randy, your rod begins to scream. Therefore, you guys cannot be surprised. I don't think they get a surprise round. We have to roll initiative.
You said they were level 2 or 3, right? They're
That was
babies.
me. That was me trying to give you guys a visual.
Cool.
That rod's really cool. I want one in real life.
Sam, nobody can sneak up on me. It's my squat rack.
I like to think that it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like they don't notice you, but as you come around the corner, the rod goes off like, "Hey, danger's nearby!" It's like, what the fuck made that noise? I know that's not how it
Another
works.
office. Another office reference. I just imagine Dwight. I can't be surprised from the front, and then they just smack Randy right in the face.
So much stuff going on. Here we go. Here we go. Can y'all see? Where's the turn tracker? Can y'all see the turn tracker?
Yes, sir, Bob.
Perfect. 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 I've already labeled these A and B. Look at me. Drix are up.
All right. First off, I guess I'm gonna pop my symbiotic entity.
Y'all want to take our break before y'all start this?
Actually,
I could be.
I do have a quick question before we do
Okay.
that.
Go ahead.
You see that it seemed like they were somehow strangely innately aware of us, like immediately targeting us in a weird way.
Did they know we were coming?
That's all I needed to know.
Drix, what do you got?
All right, speaking of warfare, I'm gonna be like, listen, and with in the era of I'm not wanting to do this, but you presented a challenge, and I am not wanting to fight the challenge. Coming up.
I feel like the
mean,
rod
so-
is a very good indicator that they didn't pop out of the shadows to talk to you guys.
They did. So I'm not gonna talk to them. 9. Stupid.
9! Who you trying to? What are you trying to do here? Say here. Who you trying to hit?
I'm swinging. I'm swinging on this. But nothing. I have no purchase.
You do. You I like to think the
Well,
adrenaline hits you so hard when the rod starts screaming that you just kind of whiff. Very scary for the person you're swinging at because you swing real hard.
I'm gonna go for an action surge real quick. Ah, there we go.
Ooh. Hit it. Ah, get it. Ain't nothing but a dog.
All right, 5 plus. I guess I'll do it. I'll do another psionic die. And then 4 necrotic. So 9, no, 10, 14. 14 damage.
What was the second D4? Or excuse me, the last D4?
The D4 is the necrotic damage for my symbiotic entity.
Hurt.
My melee attacks.
Hurt.
The other 2 are psionic attacks. So.
I got you. Thank you, Fram. Took me a second to realize. All right, next up. Is that all you can do, Drix? Can you take a bonus action to do that extra stuff?
Yeah.
Guard.
My action surge, yeah.
Y'all forgive me for saying guard. He's not a guard, but I need stat blocks for things. He is going to move to Drix. Drix is right there. He's going to pop up right next to you. He's going to do his thing. Again, you see kind of ragtag spear, a very amateur spear. The armor not great. They do look like struggling adventurers is I think the word that I would use. Drix, he attempts to make does an 18 hit Drix?
18 meets, yeah.
Ooh, hey, he does. Why did you do that? Why did you add them together? Interesting. He does 5 damage to you, Drix. Sorry, my roll was really weird. It did like his one-handed damage and his two-handed damage, and added them together. That's not how that works. D&D Beyond. Just do 5 piercing damage to you as he steps forward and gets a lucky shot. I like to think, kind of underneath one of the pieces of your carapace. And then after that, we have this encounter. May be a little weird, y'all. We'll see. I prepped it a long time ago. How far can this guy move? This little unknown creature here at 16. Oh, 40 feet. Perfect. You guys, I can see Joey making cones.
Sorry, I'm trying to think.
You can hide that if you want to. I have mine hidden until like.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah,
What?
you can go to that thing and hide it.
Yeah,
I did not realize
I
that.
hide my rulers all the time, man.
Yeah, I hide mine until like if something's very on the edge, I'll turn it on to show you guys.
I
But
didn't even see that toggle until just now when you said
Yeah,
it. That's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
it's easier for like while you're planning stuff on your turn.
Y'all can't see this. Wait, no.
I can still see
I
your
thought
shield.
that one we did.
You can't see that.
Now
Yeah,
you
I'll
turned.
show right
No,
now.
now we can see it. You turned it on.
Yeah?
No, I
God
can't.
damn it. Because wait.
Maybe I can see all of them. That's very possible.
I did turn
Can you
it
see
on.
mine?
You're the DM.
Yes, I can see.
Yeah,
those.
Okay, so
Maybe I can
that's-
see all.
What
of them.
about you, Joey?
Yeah.
What about you, Joey?
I can't see yours, but
Okay.
I think it's when you snap it off the DM and you can see it, but that's it.
Yeah, I think you're right. Anyway, so I guess y'all don't have to make a roll to see this. This is a small creature, right? Yeah, this tiny, ovular-looking thing skitters out of the darkness. Out of one of the shadows, you can hear its legs clicking on the cobblestone of the tavern.
That's not good.
And you guys watch
that.
as this very
Don't like it at all.
this I don't want to call it because you know what, we're just gonna make the token really big. We'll let y'all see the art. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. There's the token.
Well, I don't know what this
HFS.
is.
I think
Like-
most of you know what it is.
Looks like a
Um,
brain.
Oh,
Yes,
testicle
a,
intellect
sack.
devourer, isn't
a
it?
testicle sack with legs goes sprinting.
Literal brain, but
across-
okay.
Yeah, it does look like a brain, doesn't it? And it is going to make both of its first attack on Echo's Echo.
You mother.
22 to hit. Nine
That
slashing
definitely
damage.
hits. That echo is gone.
Okay, so you guys do watch as from out of the shadows, I think you all are aware, an intellect devourer sprints, skitters out of the darkness, makes lunges at Echo's Echo, and does enough damage to dissipate it entirely.
Watch
I do
out, I
think-
just got brained. He brained me.
Deimos,
Truly.
wait, actually, I did think that was Echo before I saw the yellow border. I goes, Echo, no! Oh, and then he sees this fucking brain with arms and just probably like a fucking nightmare for any mage, but like, just
Is
Randy,
that a
you're up,
beholder?
Zephyr.
Oh,
That was a character. I love that. Randy, you're up. Zephyr, you're on deck. Echo, you're after her. Him.
Move right here, and as I do, I'm gonna sort of shout out to anybody who's within range of me, which is 120 feet, so I assume everybody. I say, y'all want to talk or y'all want to die? And then I'm gonna swing on this poor buddy standing beside me because he didn't have a choice in the matter. He was too close for comfort.
Sorry, you're close enough.
We're
You
gonna
have to
call
die.
out. Well, we want to kill. So challenge yourself.
I think he's talking to the enemies. Is that correct, Randy?
I am talking to the enemies. That's right. They don't seem like they're as equipped as they should be. I'm curious if we can convince them that there
Go ahead
are
and-
better
go
ways
ahead
to spend
and-
their time.
Tell me what your attack roll is. And then tell me your passive perception.
29.
Jesus.
Passive perception is 10, so not great.
29 hits. Go ahead and roll your. Oh, Amon out here doing his job.
I decided to bring out the new one. The new one.
Oh, Randy, you blast this. I don't want to call it a threat. You blast this message out to the whole tavern. I like to think even your comrades hear it, and you do one. I like to imagine. I forget the word for it, but it's one of those situations where like you don't actually draw him on till you get there. You draw him, do the cut, and put it back in your sheath. Sekiro has a cool little. There's a name for that ability, and just cut this person down. I mean, to you, a now experienced adventurer, it's obvious that they were not prepared and just dead.
Based on that, I'll turn as this dude sort of sloughs in half, I assume. Sort of put a foot up on the table, and I'm going to say, I don't think you guys are ready for what we're going to bring in here. Sounds like you're more equipped for a chat than a battle.
It's true. It's what it's looking like. 10, huh? Passive perception of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you some things because I don't feel like that would be high enough. Zephyr, you're up.
oh
Unless
boy.
Randy has a bonus action.
I do, but I'm not going to use it to do anything crazy. I already.
All right,
Like-
Zephyr, you're up. Echo, you're on deck.
All right, so Zephyr's absolutely got the heebie-jeebies for this intellect devourer over here. And it looks like I've got I've got a pretty straight shot, I reckon, at him right here to there. So
Yeah, I'll just blast him.
so we're gonna screech and blast him. With
Screams like a little
regular-
girl. Throws an Eldritch Blast. The 19 does hit. That's
Right,
10 force damage. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Pardon, I had a burp. Anything else, Zephyr? No bonus action still?
No bonus action
I-
still.
I know we
One
wandered
day.
away from this, but could I use a bonus action to make an active perception check?
I think I've been charging actions for that. I will allow it for this session.
Or like an insight check? I don't know.
I feel like for a perception check, a bonus action isn't too bad during combat. You know.
All right. Well, it was only an 11. It's not much better than 10.
Something isn't quite right. Most people don't charge unprepared into battle. Zephyr,
that's
you
right.
don't.
Oh
Don't
no!
Zephyr, you don't have a bonus action unless you would like to use it to make a perception check.
I will try, because this is fishy. I mean, what is an intellect we're doing here? Wow, 7.
You're freaked
I
out,
have
yeah.
no clue.
Zephyr's
I'm pretty
found
sure
something he might be a little more afraid of than snakes. Echo, you're up.
I'm a 12 long on the PP, if that helps discern anything.
A 12.
Yeah.
12 is not quite enough
Okay.
on the passive.
God, these fucking size
pass.
screens. Am I right? Jesus.
I know for me it
will-
has. Oh, kitten. Sorry, I got distracted.
You know, I'm gonna bonus action
Nope.
hex this
Is that right?
brain, and I will say I can't remember. Con?
On heard.
Con is
Con?
great. Con is great.
All right. Yeah, I thought so. I thought
can-
that's at least one thing.
Yeah, you can do most things, but like Dex and Con are the two that most a lot of spells make you
That
throw.
is the D6 that is gonna roll if I hit him. But yeah, he's gonna get disadvantage on con checks, and I will get a 3 extra necrotic damage if I hit him.
Can I remind the party of my greatest regret of not remembering that you can declare non-lethal damage on somebody when you hit them?
Yeah.
I am gonna shoot an arrow at the brain, and I will use my sharpshooter feat, which is a -5 to this roll.
Okay.
For a
21.
21,
Hits.
for an extra 10 damage to this roll and additional 3 damage from necrotic. So that's 20 damage on the brain.
You fucking skewer it, dude. A fucking
Brain
brain
kebab.
the bomb.
Yeah. And
Joey and I are
I'm
sharing a
to the
brain
floor.
cell today.
I'm going to step over this chair, hop over, like kind of like sliding over a car roof over the table,
Bo Duke,
Fucking
hood
Bo
slide.
Duke style.
and I will
Get out of my
I will
head.
go after this one by Drix.
Okay. Dude,
Same
one of-
thing.
Heard.
Sharpshooter.
you doing
-5
this?
to hit.
One of my D&D friends at work gave me an idea for a weapon that I think I'm gonna steal. That I think you're really gonna like. 12 does not hit.
Neither does the 7 that it actually is.
I
Because
see.
I use sharpshooter.
See.
All right, that goes wide, and I'm done.
All right. You guys watch as from out of the darkness comes another devourer. Let me make sure he can actually make it right here to the other side of Drix. Drix, shit's about to get real here for a second.
Are they small?
Damn.
They are small
Yeah.
creatures.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Fireball.
Well, take 3 damage.
Take
I was
3
hoping it was
damage.
gonna be more.
Yeah.
Let
Oh
me
wait,
mark that
I
down.
forgot to say it before we get into it.
Halo is
I
first.
can move my hex
Heard.
when that target drops to 0, and I moved it to the guy I attacked. This guy right here. Negative
Regard.
on Constitution or disadvantage. Sorry.
Perfect. I will point out, I know nobody's asked, I guess I should have mentioned, this person here is a gnome dressed in the armor you saw Oswald. Y'all have seen a picture. This appears to be Oswald. This appears to be the person, well, maybe I shouldn't say Oswald. Appears to be the person you were given an image of by Vera. A gnome,
When you say
a,
shit
s-
like
a silver flame emblem on his fucking shield. His armor, obviously, silver flame. But you see a mace at his belt, and he's carrying a mithril spear I'll maybe explain kind of his whole setup here in a second when he gets to go. He's got a cool little weapon setup we'll get to in a second. But first, Drix, one attack with his claws. Is there any reason he needs to do these in any order? No. First attack with the claw, Drix, the intellect devourer tries to get you with an 18. Did you say that meets earlier?
God, yes, it does.
You take 5
neat.
slashing damage as it jumps at you, and you feel the claws sink into like the shoulder of your carapace. And then it's going to use its devour intellect. Oh, is this a... Make an intelligence save for me, please, Drix.
Oh, damn. That's unfortunate.
That's spicy.
It is spicy. So
Oh,
let's get
19.
spicier, my
Fucking
friends.
solid.
Good job.
Cordo's like, occupied,
Solid.
motherfucker. Oh, God.
Porno's like, yeah, you're not wrong. Or take...
No vacancy.
So you don't take any if you pass, which is great. So, and this is wonderful because both Drix is psionic. He's had lots of training. Training his mind. Training the powers that come forth from a strong mind. Him and Cordo together greatly deflect the kind of mental blast that attempts to tear its way through your mindscape. I'm gonna make up words tonight, y'all. We've had enough alcohol to make up words.
It's called a psionic firewall. You know what I mean? Like
Psionic firewall.
I would like to think of that as a brain block.
brain
Mental block.
There it is.
That's it for me. I'm never coming back. You guys are just gonna find another player. I'm done. That broke me. That was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Cordo will take over. It's fine. Let's go.
All right. Wow.
Dude's got one brain cell left, and they're both fighting for third place.
Yeah. No. Y'all just totally. That's it. I'm sorry. I'm done. All right. The gnome. I want to call him a cleric. The cleric, dressed like a cleric, is going to move to here. It's only 5 feet, so he can see everybody. You guys can actually see, besides the mace hanging at his belt, he is wearing, like I said, a shield with the emblem of the silver flame on it. Is carrying, looks very funny for a gnome, a mithril spear. Kind of fun fact, I don't think any of you have seen one yet. These spears are very long. It is a 10-foot spear. But
Does it look longer since he's so short? Like it's
It
really
does
like a
look-
toothpick. But
well, I like to think they look like a toothpick anyway. They look like a pilum. If anyone is familiar with Roman pilums, they
yeah.
were super long. Half of them were wood, and
That's
the other
super fun,
half,
by the way.
yeah, and the other half was this very long piece of metal. They were used, like you could stand in the second row and lay one down, and it would still be very far out in front of the first row. They weren't great for throwing, but they were very good for what Romans used them for. They were about 10 foot long, or very long. But this one is, because it's mithril, very light. You gather it's the only reason he is able to move something with so much length. And additionally, you guys can see that it is attached to a chain, which is kind of like almost like a cowboy rope, almost like a lasso, looped up around his hip, hanging off of his hip. Yeah, I see you laughing, Joey. You'll see here in a second. I have a plan. I know where this is
I
going.
wouldn't be laughing if I were you, Joey. It's coming straight to you.
Well, it's a wild concept and I love it, but it's just like the visual of like he has the chain wrapped up around him. No, it's like a cowboy's lasso. Like just the Western imagery that pervades this Spelljammer is beautiful, and I'm about it. I'm not dissing it.
I should mention that I do view it as a mithril chain. It is metal chain, but it is very thin. And you guys will see here in a second that it is a specific thing. He's going to, how can he do this? There's nobody. Oh, man. Nobody's within 5 feet of each other. That kind of sucks. Where the fuck is Zephyr? Okay, there's Zephyr.
Talking like an angel hair or like a linguine type thickness? What's the girth on this bad boy?
It's like an inch chain or an inch and a half chain. It's not like a chain you pull a truck with or you pull a Jeep out of the muck with. it's maybe a little thicker than some of the very thick chains we might wear around our neck. Maybe you guys, when you figure out what it does, it will help your mental imagery. Joey,
chains are you
not
wearing?
It's like lightning lore,
Well,
but physical.
it's
You're
a
about to
well,
get
and
pulled.
especially no, that's the
Fucking
thing.
going fishing, motherfucker. Spear
People
fishing, like
people buy chains that are that thick. It's a very popular way to invest your money, especially if they're solid silver or solid gold. And I've been told it's a gangster thing. They have to give that stuff back to you when you get out of jail. You can go to a pawn shop and sell it for more or a little less than what it was worth when you bought it.
liquidated.
I can't tell if we're in real life Roman or Spelljammer history here.
That's a real. I wanted to know. Long story short, I googled one day, like, what's up with the term ice? Why do rappers talk about their ice? That's where that comes from. Apparently, they had to give that stuff back to you when you got out of jail. You could go pawn it. That's why they bought all the jewelry and the chains and stuff. At least that was my understanding. So y'all now know the history behind ice and why I'm going to invest in ice when I actually have more money.
Why does it sound so white when you say it?
Because
Ice just dropped 10 stock points from that, by the way.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry.
You got Ice Cube and Ice T on the phone, and they're both pissed off.
What can I say? I am a gangster. You know.
Yeah, I have a
Like,
very unhealthy infatuation.
I'm about that life.
Yeah, I have a very unhealthy infatuation with gangster culture.
Devin, who had to
Ironically,
send a
Devin-
certain word to chat because he couldn't say it aloud.
At least I know my boundaries. All right, God damn it! This guy's
It
gonna
was the
pop
G word,
out.
by the way. Okay, it's just in case.
I guess it's not
Grundle.
really. It's not a bad word, but I didn't want it to come across the wrong way.
The grotto, let's say.
I was about to say, didn't Elvis say it? He got away with it.
Very dingy.
I get the racial connotations behind it, but I feel like the word has been adopted enough into, common vernacular.
I don't
say
think you were
sorry.
using it derogatorily.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. I don't know. I've come to realize I'm going to be the one that's like, we need to take this word out. We need to take this word out because I don't know. We'll see. Just because I guess my
You're
anxiety.
paranoid. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. My paranoia is going to make me
There it
good
is.
for that
There
for
it
that
is.
job.
Devin the slumlord.
I love that. Slumlord. Can make that my fucking Discord handle, Slumlord. Sorry, I'm getting fucking distracted. Y'all are fucking. It's the beer, it's not y'all. This
Fucking
guy,
off tonight, though. Like, damn.
yeah, this gnome pops out with all this arrayed gear, and you guys watch as he takes this rather long spear, is a mithril spear, and hurls it at you, Demos. Demos. That's not any of it. This is fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's a 12 hit.
Well, does not.
Whew.
Cool. So you guys watch as this very.
You tried
I
to
like
turn-
I like to imagine it like a needle. That was a good description of it, in my opinion. And Gmos, you watch as he barely misses you, and you guys watch as the chain that the spear is attached to begins to. I love this word. Auto-magically reel the spear back in to his person.
I know it.
God,
No, you don't. I made it up.
feels like a tremendously bad pun, but also makes sense.
A chain of returning is a thing. This may not be exactly that, but that core
Oh.
mechanic is like.
Is that
I feel
what
like it's
he- is that what
redundant.
it's called?
Auto-magically. Like, if you just say magically, we would know. And if you just
But-
say automatically, we would know.
That's
but-
very right.
But
No,
automatically,
automatically?
it's
Automatically resistant?
like it's Spelljammer, right? Like it's automagically because it's different here.
That's all of Eberron is auto magic.
I mean, if it's
not-
Spelljammer, just say he used the Force to pull it back.
That's the psionic.
He might use some psionics to. It takes a whole round to get back to him.
Psionics is the force, man.
He might make it faster using psionics. We'll find
Like,
out.
it just
if he
goes
lives
limp and then slowly retracts.
long. I got lots of experience with it just going limp.
6 seconds. Just drifts back through.
Here we go. Drix, this person in front of you that you have been tangling with is gonna do some shit.
Do it.
It's gonna.
Oh,
it's
goo.
not. It's
I
not
saw it
super
too,
helpful.
yeah.
What'd you see? I don't know what it was.
The goob's still on the initiative tracker. And it was
Or
like, oh,
goob.
the goob.
Yeah, I did.
Damon,
I
do
did.
you have a big PP? Did you see anything?
I have a
didn't.
9 PP. I'd like PPs are wisdom based. Nope.
Okay.
Long story short, y'all, this person that steps up to tangle with you, Drex, rolled a 10, does not do very well. Buggo
TV's a
General,
15, by the way.
yeah, Buggo General
yeah.
Grievous is scary.
Bug
Does not get any purchase on you, Demos. It's your turn. After that, I believe it's time to go back to Drix.
I didn't.
What you
I
got,
didn't-
Demos?
I'm gonna give a quick scan of the
All
room.
right.
So first of all, my detect magic is still up because I cast it within 10 minutes. Is that seem to be is the chain itself magical? The weapon magical?
It looks like so you're definitely within 30 feet of him. So the chain is magical. The spear is not. He seems to be carrying a couple of other magical items.
Is he himself? If he's under the effect of a magical,
He does not. He does not appear to be under the effect of illusion.
I don't want to meta too much. What does Deimos know about intellect devourers? Can I make an Arcana or a history or something?
An Arcana or a Nature, please.
Arcana's better. 20? A dirty 20, but 20?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah. So, being a learned man, I like to imagine the common person doesn't know too much about illithids, but being an academic, you would have studied them. I think you're probably aware of their kind of overall space in the illithid society. You're probably aware of how dangerous they are and the high level idea of what they do. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in with this Arcana check since it was dirty 20 that I gotta quit reading about crackheads and Shelter Baptist. I'll talk about Shelter Baptist. I turned out okay.
Yeah, y'all stop.
That didn't turn out okay. That's a lie. I'm going to throw in with your 20, Joey, or our Demos, that you notice, you now kind of thinking about it, notice the dead look in almost all of their eyes.
Do I know if the condition is reversible or curable?
Including the brains look dead?
They don't have eyes. They don't look dead in their eyes.
I
They
didn't
are.
know if you could tell from the neurons firing between the hemispheres.
Just looking, little headlights pop up in their fucking.
Calm down there, Dr. House.
Look at the frontal lobe on that guy.
My God, this guy's clearly
Yeah,
got
This
think-
Zendula
unit.
Oblongata must be fucking raging. He is
I
pissed.
think from Demos's perspective, I think it would be a little different if you were a high level cleric. But from Demos's perspective, supremely difficult to reverse what they do to people. Nearly impossible from Demos's perspective.
Okay, well, Demos looks over at the shish kebabbed brain that Echo just shot, and looks at the shish kebab that just went past his brain, and like has a moment of existential dread, like that could have been me. Oh god, Oswald, I'm sorry, dude. Let me pop my cue. I want to get right about here. Double check some. Yeah. I'm going to hold my action, but I'm going to tell. So if I recall correctly, Drix comes up pretty quick. Is he next?
He's next.
Yeah, sweet. I'm going to say, you can take another swipe or two, but I'd back up soon if I were you. And I'm going to hold my action for a Rhymes Binding Ice on these three.
And the trigger is when he moves out of the way.
Correct. Before I do that, actually, I don't think I could. No. I was trying to see if I could get them and him, but I don't think there's a way I could line it up. So, yeah.
Drix, you're up.
I don't know. In this case, since I haven't even swung on this fucking card yet, I missed that first time. 20. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, get him.
Swinging at this one or this one? This is the guard token. This is that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that one. Yeah.
Okay, that's the one that swung at you earlier. 20 hits.
Is that 20
Six
That's
bludgeoning damage.
plus? Well, make it a 7.
Hurt. Okay.
Wait, was it a 6? No, ignore that one. I was supposed to roll a d6. No, d6 was the second one. All right, bonus action. Fucking. I'm with that polearm strike. That doesn't do anything.
You do
Yep.
manage to again, it's becoming obvious to professionals like yourselves, these guys are definitely amateurs. You smack him / her in the head with the Githka. I don't know which one this one is. You barely miss your backhanded swing with your Githka. And I'm supposing you would like to move out of the way now.
Yeah,
You-
heeding Damus's warning, I'm gonna kind of move.
Now I
move back
feel
with him.
I feel obligated to mention that you're gonna get opportunity attacks.
Take it, get it.
I will say if you back just to like here, you'll only take 2 opportunity attacks, and I can still get the 3 of them.
If he moves like up to this wall here.
Like here? Yeah, I'll move like right here then.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're
Okay,
still
so
within
only
range
the-
of this one, I can
So
pop at least.
only one of the amateurs gets to swing at you. A 17 doesn't hit Drix, so that doesn't hit. One of the intellect developers gets one of the intellect devourers. God damn it! It does not hit either. So Drix manages to skitter away unscathed. That triggers Demos's rhyme of binding ice. Please roll that for me, Demos. DC 14
What's
con
that crummy
save.
thing? One
So
guy has
this-
disadvantage on it.
Yeah, it's that guard there. So let's roll for this guy. Let's roll for this guy. Hope it rolled twice. All right, hold on. Let's see. They both fail.
Perfect.
Haha,
Intellect Devourer?
They both fail.
eat it.
The Intellect Devourer?
What do you mean?
There's
I
3
said they
characters there, right?
There's
Whoop,
3 of them.
whoop, 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 whoop.
Okay.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Let me see.
Just Zoidberging out there, aren't you?
They all 3 fail.
Yeah. All right. So they all take the 8, plus they have they cannot move. Their movement speed becomes 0 unless they take an action to break themselves out. I don't think they're restrained, but I will double check that.
And no attacking them doesn't free them up.
No, they have to
I don't
take an
think so.
action to actually like break the ice, or they're stuck. They could technically swing, but I think they're both using melee weapons. I'm not sure if they have a ranged option, but this will at least keep them in one spot. Yeah,
They
movement
don't
speed
may
reduced to 0, so not restrained.
Oh man. So restrained, can't move. Man, this guard here is going to use their action to break free? Is that right?
Yes.
This guard here is going to use his action to break free. He's going to move 2 Demos. He can't actually attack Demos. He had to use his action to break free. Solid use of crowd control, Demos. This is A. A is dead. Randy, you're up. Zephyr, you're on deck. Echo, you're after that.
Cool. I don't. Hold on. I can't
So
actually.
I'm just
get
going to
to-
address the elephant in the room. Is this a toilet?
Fill a hole in the ground? I don't know what that is.
It's a toilet.
It kind of, I thought of it like a holy water container.
Oh,
I
so
don't
definitely
know.
a toilet.
This map
Or a
doesn't have
sconce.
this map doesn't have the
Sconce.
creator on it, so I can't shout them out. But that's my 2 goals for next campaign is become statistician, learn how to make battle maps for us. Only 2 goals.
Because I can't actually reach anybody to attack them without using any kind of like dash or anything. I'm gonna bonus action dash.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pop up right here beside
Good
this
for us.
little intellect brain boy. And then I'm gonna smack him, hopefully. 13.
Let me check. It hits.
Oh, okay.
Pardon.
Do I get sneak attack here? I don't think anybody's technically within a square of him, but I know we're not measuring that way.
I'm gonna allow it.
Cool. So it's 10 damage. And then because I hit him, I can technically disengage without incurring any kind of opportunity attack from that guy anyway.
You do the thing. Randy scrambles over, maybe not even knowing exactly what these are, and sticks is that Iman? Sticks Iman down into it, and the perhaps the only sword y'all have ever seen sink an inch or two into the stone beneath the floor. It is a legendary weapon. It is a magical weapon.
Okay.
Randy does
Smash.
eviscerate. Yeah, does eviscerate that.
Straight back into the sheath. And
Oh,
then I still...
Go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, no, I don't like that.
I technically still have movement. So I only used 35 feet of movement to get here. Could I skirt around this dude and not be in range and just sort of like pop right here to the door frame to see what's on the other side of this wall?
you can. Let me narrate something really fast while I'm unveiling these areas for you guys. This is my fault. So this is just a room, Randy.
Okay.
You do see a door over here. Really quick, those guards that died, not guards, those amateurs that died, you guys watch as they hit the ground, and seconds after they hit the ground, you guys hear this disgusting kind of squelching sound, followed by sound as two more intellect devourers themselves from inside of the skull of these. I think maybe they crawl out of their mouths. The jaws like break to accommodate the intellect devourers crawling out of the skull of these two amateur adventurers. I'm going to say for the purposes of this, they attempt to flee. If y'all would like to attack the ones that are attempting to flee during your turn, please let me know. I don't have them on the initiative order. We'll deal with that as we go.
Where
Real quick
would they
before
be
we
coming from?
Before we proceed,
Mhm.
homeboy over here. We mentioned earlier that most of them look dead behind the eyes. Did we notice that he was in a similar state? Like, what is he looking like?
Since you asked, he does not look quite that way.
Okay, so I think that, and I wanted to flavor this earlier, but I meant to ask that question before I moved. I think as I skirt back towards the door, I'm going to sort of point at him, and I'm going to say, you're supposed to be dead. If you don't start talking, you're going to be.
Big grin from the gnome. Zephyr, you're up.
All right. How many intellect devourers you said were running away?
There are two that are fleeing.
2. Okay. Well, I guess do I need to move to hit either of them?
Probably not. With an Eldritch Blast, probably not.
All right, because we're just gonna blast them. We don't want them going anywhere.
You could try to do like one
assume-
each.
Yeah, let me go ahead and pop one each
Okay.
for good measure. Oh wow, a 10 and 11.
It
guess
is
not.
very, very difficult to hit them. They are a lot like spiders in the sense that they skitter. They're very fast. They're small. They're just kind of hard to hit. Yeah, they are kind of hard to hit. I feel like Zephyr's like, thank God they're running away.
Yeah.
Zephyr uses his bonus action to look gorgeous. Fabulous!
Fabulous.
Echo, you're up.
I'm gonna bonus action summon my Echo.
Okay.
Get him on the map here.
Did you make this track as playing Echoes? Lit.
I did. This is all original. Alright, and I will shoot an arrow at the, I guess, guard in front of Deimos. And I will use the sharpshooter, -5 to this roll. Oof. So a 13.
Sorry, I don't have my ruler selected. That is not meat. I'm sorry.
Then I will try again.
Literally-
No sharpshooter, just straight up
Hits.
19.
Oh.
And he will take a d6 of extra damage
Hexy damage.
if
Oh, that's a solid hit.
That is
Relative.
all it takes for
Okay.
you to like the professional that he is, the arrow. Demos, you just watch as you're getting ready to square up with this poor unfortunate soul who doesn't exactly seem to be all there, and then an arrow protrudes from his chest straight through his lung, and he just collapses.
Deimos is going to look at the others who had their skulls burst open and he's going to tell Echo, aim a little higher. Like, this vicinity would be great.
And I would like to move my hex to Oswald. Osmosis Jones, whatever his name is.
Osmosis Jones. Solid call out.
Devin got a reference. Wow.
I loved that show.
Achievement unlocked, Devin.
I loved that show. I can't remember what it was called. It was a great show.
I thought it was called Osmosis
Was it called
Jones.
Osmosis Jones? I think you're right.
The movie?
It was,
I
yeah.
think it was Chris Rock.
Well, there was a
TV
show
too.
before the movie, yeah, and he had
Oh,
like
was there?
his partner was like a pill. He had like a cannon for an arm.
Yeah, it was a movie. It was a movie first.
Ozzy and
I thought
Drix.
it
Ozzy and who?
Drix. It was Ozzy.
Is
and
that
Drix.
really?
Oh, that's
Oh,
it.
is that where I pulled that from?
Yeah, Ozzy was Osmosis Jones, and Drix was the little pill dude with the cannon arm.
Yeah,
That's the back memory I pulled that from. Yeah, that's
that
right.
whole show.
Okay.
So funny.
That whole show explains
Well, that
my
sounds right.
fascination
Let's do
with,
that.
with noir. I'm gonna go watch Osmosis Jones so I can do some campaign shit in this Osmosis Jones. Echo,
That's it for me.
good job, Echo. Intellect Devourer B is dead, I'm pretty sure. Yes, sir. The guard B, are you dead? Both the guards are dead. Alright, this guy
And
here.
if something crawls out of that guy's mouth, would I get an opportunity attack from my Echo? If he tries to leave range?
Yes, you would.
Technically,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
I would attack.
Go ahead and roll that.
Alright, I think it's a melee. Does a 10 hit?
10 would not hit. The Intellect Devourer that, again, skitters out of this poor, unfortunate soul's brain. Or, well, where his brain used to be. Okay. Alright, Oswald. You've got some choices to make. None of this looks good. It's all okay. Oswald, you guys watch as he flips out a wand from inside of his armor, points it at the, how far is this? I have it pulled up here.
Oh, no,
He's
he
gonna-
incinerated the companion. He's gonna do the same thing to us.
He's gonna use his wand to cast this thing. Sorry, I have to check the spell to see, like, if you upcast it, if shit changes.
Pull the trigger,
And just
Devin.
because you usually
Pull the
ask
trigger.
Devin, this is the Mega Man track.
Do it.
Let's see. Okay. I only played one Mega Man game, I think. It was like for DS, so it definitely wasn't the original. 20-foot cube. Where's my cubes? Where's my cubes? Don't forget your algebra, kids.
Geometry.
Oh
Would that be
man.
geometry?
Yeah,
That's
sorry.
geometry.
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right.
I can do shape.
Sorry.
I can do shape math. That makes sense to me. But I can't.
I
I
just
can't do it.
algebra. I was good up until derivatives. Derivatives and calculus are the stupidest goddamn thing I've ever seen in my
Okay.
fucking life.
Could not agree more with you. I hate them.
I'll sign your
That was-
tangent.
I'm just
I
saying the
was
most
okay with that
complex
stuff,
math I've
too.
used outside of school is measuring triangles. That's it.
I've
I've used Pythagorean theorem in real life. I've measured fucking triangles all day, bro. That's the only math I've used outside of school, really.
I agree. I think that's good. Stuff's good for you, but derivatives made me angry.
I feel like most of the stuff we do is derivative.
it is.
It's all
but
derivative.
anytime math is okay. Math is okay until you're like, I need you to memorize these like 12 arbitrary rules, and then I'm like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna go do something that's not that math heavy. Computer science can suck my dick hole. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna read Dude for the 6th time.
instead of doing derivatives, yeah, straight up. He whips his wand out. Demos, Echo's Echo, and Drix. I need you guys to make I need you guys to make dexterity saving throws for me, please. As he whips out a wand of
Taking
web, and you guys
All
watch
without
this
a wand.
this blast of white light flash out and turn into a 20-foot cube of webs. A wand of web. He's gonna
Whips
try
out
to
his
do-
wand.
He does.
It splashes us
this
with
big,
a white web.
yes, this big
It's
white
squares-
wand
it's squares
comes
with
out
a
of
bunch
it.
of webs. Okay. White
Big
web.
web.
I can get as
Right.
gross as y'all want. I've had just enough beers and I'll give a fucking shit.
Is it
Uh,
15
I just
more?
fear for
Yeah.
Megan.
It's
You know,
sticky.
she's supposed to be asleep. She's a very heavy sleeper.
I got it in my eye, and
I don't know if that made it better or worse.
One
5.
of those moments where I'm like, red line, don't say that.
I thought you knew when to not say certain stuff, buddy.
No, Joey
I'm
likes to
running up
take
to
the
line
red
by line
line.
over it, okay?
Joey likes to take like 4 steps over the red line to see if anyone calls him out.
You play hopscotch with it. Also, Devin, come see Shakespeare because man, do I fucking abuse.
Abuse the red line.
It's like you step over and you about almost touch the ground. You're like, no, I'm not doing it.
Does it
I'm
play
gonna
on
say something
Sunday?
else.
Does it have a Sunday too?
It does. Sunday at 2.
Okay. This Saturday, I don't think it's gonna happen, but maybe next. They have a bye next Saturday. I can probably go next Saturday. Sorry, football controls my life like every other Southern man, and it's disgusting. Go UT. Drix, I'm sorry. Echo. Your Echo. I need the deck save from your Echo. Drix, you fail. Demos,
I got a
did you roll
19.
twice for a reason? Okay, the 19 passes.
I used the lucky point. Does the 15
the 15 passes. Drix, you're the only one that is kind of stuck in this big cube of webs. I'll try to drop blocks here in just a second. This took me way too long to resolve. I apologize for being distracted. Let me make absolutely sure.
Bug in a web. How cliche.
It is a bug on a web. You are restrained. So we'll have to see exactly what that means. I think that means you can't move too, but I'll check that in just a second. Please
this
don't
difficult
refresh
terrain
this page. I believe it is.
Wow, that's right.
Web kind
Rectangle.
of sucks unless somebody uses fire on it.
Unless you're in the web when somebody uses fire on it.
This is a very rough
Yeah,
estimation.
bug types are weak against
Um,
fire.
It's true. This is a very rough estimation of the web. I don't think it actually got Randy. So I'm going to move that real
How do they have
quick.
these? Yeah.
That took his action. He can't use his bonus action for anything because I didn't write it down. This person's not quite dead. Oh man, Drix is so far away. Drix, here it comes. This
That
person.
person has to use their action to break out of the ice if they haven't already.
Sad face. They do that, and then they try to approach Drix. They can't actually swing at Drix because
Did they fail the web? Did they roll?
That's a good question. Did they roll?
Frozen in the web, like double lockdown.
Grass. Let's find out.
Maybe they nullify each other like the web.
That's a 3.
Like-
So this person's just stuck. Demos, you're up.
So I just want to be clear on my mental image. There are currently 3 brains skedaddling.
I believe that's correct. Yes, sir.
Oh,
Good day, Lynn.
I can't let them.
Can't you though?
I-
It is
no,
the safest route for Demos.
to let these out into the world. No, they're gonna continue to be an issue. It's like rats.
For
You gotta kill every
Demos.
one. So here's the thing: if I use a wand, can I cast a bonus action spell? Since I'm not casting a spell myself, I'm using the wand to do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Calling it now, I'm only ruling it that way so that when we have a one-shot or a mini-series that's like Spaghetti Western in Eberron with wand slingers, so that y'all can use bonus action spells. And that will make it cool.
I'm gonna. Misty Step 30 feet. What am I doing? Misty Step to 30 feet.
Wondering that for years, Nicola.
Oh, I thought it'd be a spider.
To pop here. If I have to, I'll walk out of the doorway, but I'm gonna use the Wand of Magic Missiles. I'm gonna send 7 charges, 4 at one of them, 3 at another, ignoring the third for now.
Roll your first 4 damages, please. I'm afraid to go look at Discord. Y'all been blowing it up.
I need to think of how. It's technically more than that though. I'm sorry. It's 9 bolts, 7 charges, 9 bolts because the first one does 3. So it's actually 5. Oh, or I could do 3 to each. Can I do my first 3 and see if it kills it?
Sure.
Okay.
Well, now if the first 3, you're still using all of them regardless. You've declared you're using 6 total.
Well, I'm using 9 charges. Excuse me, I'm using 7 charges, which is 9 bolts.
Yeah, you're still going to use all 7 charges, but you can
Yes, sir.
play with, where they go.
Okay. Plus 3 to this, so 12. Does 12 kill one of them?
Afraid not.
Okay. Was one of them injured earlier? I think the Echo got it.
I don't. Where's that at? Let me look. I
Or
don't
did
think
the
you
Echo
got it.
miss?
I think the Echo missed.
Okay. I'm gonna send 2 more at that particular one. So that's a 6. So this is 15 damage. 15? Yeah.
Right
Damn.
now.
Oh. Okay, so I have 4 charges left. 3 damage. Is it dead now?
How many is that total? No, I don't think so.
3 more damage. Is it dead now? That's
What
21.
do we got? You got it. You got the first one. You got one of them.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm gonna send the other 2 off at another one. Oh, 4 damage.
Okay.
Womp.
4 damage. To the second one. One is dead. 2 out of 3 remain. One of them has 6 extra damage. 7 extra damage.
I think just 4 extra.
4
I
extra
said it
damage.
was, I thought you said it was +3.
Well, it was +3 because there were 3 darts. They all get plus.
Okay.
But I appreciate you looking out.
Goob is not here. Witness my tears.
My
Trickster.
bile just starts going crazy. You know how much we could sell those things for?
So, do I need to make another save to get out of this web?
Y'all asking me
Or
all the
was
good questions I wasn't prepared for.
I think you do have to make a save, but also that creature's at least that one person's
Yeah.
within 10 feet of you, so you could technically attack. I think.
Each
That's
creature that starts its turn in the webs makes a dexterity saving throw.
Starts its turn. That's nice.
There.
But Randy is correct. You could. Oh, you can't. You're restrained. Can you make an attack?
I think
I'm
there's
not-
a disadvantage if you're
Well, I
Let's run that
assumed it'd be like
Oh, God.
in web or something, but
I forgot to put 5e next to restrained, so like Google gave me like the dictionary definition for restrained.
BSM.
And I was like,
Speed becomes 0. Attack rolls it makes have disadvantage. Creatures have advantage on it, and it has disadvantage
Okay.
on
yeah.
dex saves.
So you can't attack, but it's a disadvantage.
Oh, I think if the rules is written, I think that would give you disadvantage on the checks.
It would.
get out of
Well,
it.
That's what I'm reading. Yeah, because it gives you disadvantage on dex saving throws, and
That
you
makes them a
fail
little more scary.
you fail the first time, so then everyone after that is at disadvantage
I've
to get
never
out of it.
played it that way before. That's crazy.
That is pretty solid.
I was afraid he was
Alright,
going to
well-
catch like all of you in the entrance and like catch you all in the big web. So I was afraid it was going to happen.
9. I assume a 9 doesn't hit.
No, sir.
But
I'm sorry. It's okay. You'll I think you'll find your way out here in a minute.
Alright. Oh, 20. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
That one hit. So let's do.
What was that 1d20 for?
Oh, bam.
It was to see if the wand
That was my bonus attack.
broke when I used all the charges.
Roll your damage for
Oh,
your
that was
bonus
my-
action. Bonus action attack.
I was like, just a little lower than a 20.
You know, a 1 is great because a
One.
one is what you needed. Your first swing is like Drexman swings over the top of the head of one of these adventurers, and kind of frustrated with his inability to move. The backhand strike, the butt strike, comes up under the chin of this. They are also dressed somewhat like a cleric. Catches them under the chin. You guys hear across the tavern the cracking sound. You guys see teeth fly out of the mouth of this cleric as they collapse. And
As the butt goes straight through the mind flayer inside their skull and splatters them on the wall.
you guys watch as once again
Usually clip up and screeches like a predator.
the fourth intellect devourer, out of the head of this poor
I
unfortunate
didn't hear that.
soul, as I've been calling them.
You-
Does its
that-
best to slip away. I guess it's in the webs. It's
I was about
having
to
a hard
say.
time about it.
Mhm.
Does not do well in its attempt to escape. This person is dead. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Randy up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone is dead except
Okay.
you have 3 total fleeing, intellect devours, and the cleric, the silver flame cleric. 2, 3. You only killed 1. Now there's 3 total. Because one just
but
popped
one of them
out.
is caught in the web.
Yes, one of them is caught in the web. Randy, you're up. Zephyr, you're on deck.
Let me ask you a question. If I tried to use the revolver right now, would I have disadvantage, or would it be a lower roll?
You just wouldn't be proficient, which means you wouldn't get to add your proficiency bonus to an attack roll.
I'm trying to think, what the heck's my proficiency bonus?
So when you attack with your katanas, because you're proficient, you get to add like 3 or 4. I'm not sure what it is at this level.
Add +6, but with the revolver, it's at a +3 right now. That's why I'm wondering, like, is that right or is that
That's
wrong?
right. That's very likely right. Because that's probably like your dex modifier, and it doesn't include your proficiency modifier.
Yeah, +3 with dex, but not +3 for the extra proficiency. Whatever. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try to shoot at Oswald because he's just in range. And
Cowboy up.
just in range. So I'm gonna pull that sucker out. I'm gonna aim up and try to take a shot at him. And as I do, I'm gonna say, I don't know what you're mixed up in, brother, but I think it's gonna cost you. Oh, a 12 though.
Break 12 does not hit. You call out to him. He just manages to kind of pull his shield up in front of him, and the bullet pings off the shield.
Okay.
Leaving a big dent in it. It was a revolver. Picking up the wrong beer.
I can't do a ton of bonus action wise. Technically, I can use a bonus action dash, so I'm gonna do that. And I guess skirt the edges of the web here. That's 32 feet.
Yeah.
And that's 28 right there.
Okay.
That'll be the end of my turn.
Zephyr, you're up. Echo, you're on deck.
It would help if I unmute myself. Okay, so since Randy didn't make purchase, I'm gonna try and make purchase. Just stumble in here, I guess. Finally. Been just kind of creeping outside. Alright. A 25, I assume.
Yes, sir. This is
Yeah.
on good old boy over here. This is on
Yeah.
Good old
Yeah.
boy.
7.
The boy.
Woof, woof, woof. I fucked up. Okay. Anything else, Zephyr?
I think that's it, honestly. I need some bonus actions up in here.
Zephyr slings 2 Maroon? Is that what you said? Eldritch Blast? Maybe that's not what you said. Maroon is someone else. Lilac is what you said. I don't remember.
Yeah, like.
Lilac? Let's see. Blast of Eldritch Energy. I used to think of them like fireballs, but now, thanks to Baldur's Gate, I think of them like
Lasers.
laser beams.
Zoom, zoom.
You
Yeah,
do manage
cool.
to connect with one of them and kind of stagger Oswald for a second. Echo, you're up. I think Demos, you're going to be on deck, but Oswald is going to be in between you two.
Can I say something aloud, just in general? Because I forgot to do this earlier. Or actually, no, it was Echo who saw that he still had some semblance of that he wasn't, or maybe it was Randy. Somebody.
Randy.
Someone saw that he had sentience.
Can we assume that was verbally communicated, or?
Yeah, for sure. If
Okay.
I asked the question after the fact, but I definitely would have communicated that.
They also say we might have a chance at fixing him. These others are too far gone, but for what that's worth, to Echo at least.
Spawn, I'm like, keep
I
yelling at him.
will.
He ain't saying nothing.
Aim for right here in the arm, his spear throwing arm, to try to disable his attacks. I clicked it.
Are you going to use your sharpshooter ability?
No sharpshooter.
Yes, sharpshooter. You heard him. Yes, sharpshooter.
28 hits.
My computer's lagging. One sec. Right, there's the damage and the extra d6.
Must be like, because I can't see your damage.
Taking its time.
Yes, I am lagging.
Wild legs.
Why the long lag?
My leg.
Can
Come
you see the
on.
damage?
Do you want us to?
There's the extra. I'm trying to click the
The
roll
longbow.
20. Alright, I'm gonna just do it from D&D
Yeah.
Beyond.
I can
Yeah,
look
have
at
you
it
go do
from here. If that'll help.
So that's 8 damage. Did I at least restrain his arm?
Might say you made it so for future, I would like you to use your sharpshooter ability if you want to call out like I cripple his hand or I cripple his foot.
Okay.
Please use your sharpshooter ability to do that. But for this time, since I didn't verbalize that beforehand, we'll say you've made it difficult for him to use his spear.
Alright. Then I'm gonna go straight for the gut. Does he look... Before I do, does he look bloodied or anything?
It's not quite look bloodied. He still looks pretty, maybe perhaps, he doesn't look dead in the eyes like everyone else. He's looking a little panicked, but he doesn't look bloodied.
Yeah,
We
straight...
Oh, I was gonna say you can always call non-lethal just in case, but
Yeah, I guess right in the hip where his chain, his magical automagically chain is wrapped around.
chain him.
Sharpshooter ability.
Okay. You're trying to make it harder for him to run. Oh.
Nice.
Right in the hip,
You know-
non-lethal though.
You know what? Man.
Oh, 7? But,
How far away are you?
I could be there or my echo's location.
but
I know I
it
didn't
looks-
specify.
It looks like you could reach him. Sorry, I didn't mean to move your token. You know what? Echo, you see an opportunity. You pull your bow back. You stop. You let the tension off the bow. You stow. You put the bow away. You guys watch Echo hood slide back over the table that he had crossed over. Sprints to Oswald. You guys watch as Oswald is raising his spear in his arrowed hand. Echo runs forward and almost like a defensive end pulling a football out of a quarterback's hand, slips the spear out of Oswald's hand, grabs him, spins him around, and runs the spear through Oswald's hip, pinning him into the ground. For all intents and purposes, this combat has come to an end. Oswald is restrained. It would be very difficult to make an attack, pinned to the ground with your own spear. He can't run away. The only thing really left would have been let me see here. The only thing really left would have been the three remaining three remaining intellect devourers. Demos, you're the only person that would get to go before the top of the round, before they would have kind of dispersed. You may attempt to kill some of them if you would like, or do something else.
Yeah, I would. I couldn't call out to like, Zephyr, you've got a good arm. How about you pop out here and throw a couple of bolts? I'll try to kill one more just for fucking shits and just because I'm a fucking stubborn ass motherfucker. Are they running in the same direction?
I imagine not. Why do you ask?
Fireball in the middle of the street to get them.
60,
Oh.
60 feet? Is that right? Hold on a second.
It's 150 foot range. It's 20 foot sphere, so 40 feet wide.
40 foot.
So it would be too much for this. Hold
Hold on a second. Let me see how big a 20-foot radius is. 20-foot radius, right?
there were three. There were three. If this is a road logically, 2 of them had to run together. I could have killed the standalone earlier.
Not necessarily. One could have went out the back of the end. One could have went out the front of the end. One could have went out the side of the end, etc., etc.
I see.
Is a point of quick clarification. How does this web work? Because I think it's a concentration spell. Like, would the wand have just given it to him, or would he have dropped it?
Yeah, he cast it out of a wand.
Okay.
So I think it stays. Demos, if you cast a fireball, you could attempt to get both of them.
Would I damage anybody else in the process?
No.
Okay, I'll take them odds. I want these fuckers dead. I need 2 dex saves. Oh, I see a couple 6s. Yeah, high for that. That's very good.
What was your damage total?
34. That you're going to take at least 17.
Okay,
and one of them's already taken 4.
One passes, one fails.
But
one of them's already taken
fails
4.
was the 4, right? Or the one who passes was the 4, right?
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Which puts them at
21.
You do well. They start at 21. -4, I think, is 17. So you
no, that's what I was saying.
Yeah,
okay,
you do get both of them.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, that was pretty close.
The one in the web, I assume we clean up. Since it's tangled,
Is this kind of stuck? I would agree. I would think that's generally what happens. As you guys kind of clean up, let me go ahead and remove this web circle, this web square. Come on, Devin. Move around so I can delete you. Bam! As you guys find yourselves catching your breath, Demos, you guys feel the heat dissipate as Demos throws a fireball and just barely manages to eviscerate, to char the remaining 2 intellect devourers. Go ahead, Joe.
Demos says he blows his fingers. No pain, no brain.
Oh,
God. I'm sorry.
The DM takes 1d6 psychic damage.
Sorry.
Hey, you guys find yourselves in this dimly lit alleyway, dimly lit, abandoned Kajigger Inn. The suspect you have been chasing pinned to the ground with his own mithril spear. Please take a second to gather yourselves. Consider what you would like to question him with. While I go. We come back to the session. Thanks everybody for hanging late with us tonight, even though this isn't live. Sorry. I had just enough beers to be feeling good. Had to sit down. We're going to DM Miss Comfy Devin for a couple of minutes. You guys... Where the fuck is it? You guys have managed to... managed to do some things. You guys have managed to mostly handle the stuff that was going on in this tavern. The only one... Demos managed to incinerate the remaining intellect devourers. Demos is now gets to rest on the idea that these things are not scattered about Sean. The only person left alive is Oswald, speared to the ground by Echo, who came and literally tore the spear from his hand and pinned him to the ground. The world is yours. This scene is yours to do with as you please. Oswald is frustrated, but oddly subdued. You can see he does have his hand around the spear, but he's not like he's gonna tear it out of his hip without you guys noticing. So he's not actively attempting to escape, but very caged animal look from this gnome you've pinned to the ground, Echo.
Deimos will walk in. I may have just set the lower region of Sharn on fire, and I know that shit travels north pretty fast, so we might have to expedite this a bit.
Let's skedaddle.
Deimos wants to get a closer look at Oswald. Does he seem like he's been infected in just in earlier stages, or is he doing this willingly, or is he under some other psionic influence?
Make an Arcana check for me, please.
Anybody else want to help give me a squint?
I mean, I'm assuming I'm right there holding the spear.
Yeah, that's fair.
Add a
We're the ones
D4.
doing it.
There you go.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, let's see.
My Arcana is +5. If I mean, I guess.
Fuck
Demos,
it, it's 27.
you gather from what you know, from what you've investigated so far. You came in here kind of expecting an amateur group of eco-terrorists, a group of idealists, a group of people that were not exactly hardened combat veterans or hardened adventurers.
And instead, I found these fuckers who want to throw paint all over fine pieces of art. They're assholes. Kill them all.
Demos
Philistine.
kind of gathers that this is not the reaction. He's very calm. He's very collected. No, hardly even grunts and screams of pain from the spear piercing him. He's much more collected than you would expect a group of amateurs. You kind of gather that he, while perhaps still possessed of his own faculties, not as scatterbrained, not as what's the word I'm looking for when something bad shit happens to you and it really fucks you up.
Traumatized?
Yeah, not as traumatized by this experience as you might expect an amateur adventurer or an amateur cleric.
Does he look like he's at 1 hit point and he's and Echo has just pinned him, or does he look like he's still healthy but just pinned down? Not healthy, but you know what I mean. Not at
Second one.
Right, like not traumatized, but maybe like hypnotized.
Shut the fuck up. Wow, that was bad. Oh, that was okay. Bravo. Deimos is gonna squat down and get closer to him. Oswald, you've got some. You've ruffled a lot of feathers. What the hell are you doing? Why are you willing to work with these entities? You're cattle to them. Also, we should probably do a sweep of the rest of the room.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
Rest
gonna
of
move
the
up
building.
at least and see.
Like, bro, are you dead?
Like over here.
Bro, are you
Hallway.
dead? Alright.
Let's say 3 up here with him and 2 folk. Just make sure we're alone.
Okay, so there's the hallway you've asked about, Randy. These entities.
There's the hallway.
So he responds in a very hoarse voice, a very his voice almost quavers. It's not. I don't want to make y'all think it's electronic, but it wavers in a way that doesn't sound afraid. It doesn't sound unconfident, but it's almost as if the words are making their way very slowly to his mouth, and he tells you that truth will set you free. He tells you that this is the way forward. What did you call them? Creatures? These things liberate us.
That's the wrong answer. I'm gonna grab onto the spear, the metal tip that's in him. I'm gonna cast Shocking Grasp.
While you're doing that,
Well,
can I keep scooting north to check the other end of the hallways? Like I want to try to keep sweeping the northern side of the building.
Roll damage,
God
please,
damn.
Demos. That's pretty
Technic-
cool. That's
so-
pretty solid.
Shocking Grasp is a 1d8 when you first get it. At level 5, it becomes a 2d8. Can I do the lighter version just because I'm doing this more for, to cause pain rather than to kill? Or do you want me to roll another d8?
Jesus.
Roll that second D8. You can't hold back
Okay,
magical
That's not too bad.
6 damage. Okay.
I would disagree with that. There's potency, but I
feel like there is a little bit of like raw. You can't. We had a whole
there's not a written way
conversation
to
about that.
undercast a cantrip, but I
Yeah.
feel like in the world, like you can pull your punches even magically. So 6 damage.
Yes, sir. He does take that 6 lightning damage. Why aren't you revealing this shit?
Yeah, basically
Thankfully-
don't throw your whole hip into it.
Thankfully, he
You gotta
the
make me
heated
go
metal.
get another beer.
Thankfully, the heated metal cauterizes his wound, so now you're not bleeding out, friend. I'm just looking out for you.
He does. There's obviously the growling and the sounds of pain you would expect as the lightning lances through him, but he doesn't really respond with any kind of. You see him gritting his teeth. You see him looking at you like he would love to absolutely skewer you, but
He almost did.
yeah, he does. But he doesn't respond in any meaningful way.
So there's not like the electrical pulse doesn't have any like not reset or disturb any connection. Might be doing a bad job.
No, you still gather. So most of you can see now that there's this kind of look in his eye. I like to, in my mind, his eyes. He has wild eyes. He looks almost feral in a sort of way. It's very difficult to describe. He doesn't exactly seem like a wild animal, but there seems to be something that is causing him to act in this way, where his self-preservation is almost extinct. Where you would expect an amateur skewered with a spear to be absolutely freaking out. There seems to be something that's covered his inhibitions, that's got him on the brink of feral, that has him kind of, you could maybe even call it devout, or there's another word that I can't remember that has religious connotations.
A zealot?
That's probably not a bad way to say it. You guys probably have no idea what he could
Fanatic?
be. You guys have no idea what he could be zealous about, but I think zealous is probably a pretty good descriptor for the kind of look I imagine is burning in his eyes.
Real hip strong. Yeah.
God damn it! Why? Just keep coming back with it.
I just want to know, you're supposed to be dead, and why did you raid the warehouse?
He tells you through very gritted teeth that it's not hard to fake your death. And then he tells you that there are things that need to be known from the warehouse.
Like what? Can we help?
So you
Help
told
kill
him.
him faster. Let's go.
He don't know that. Shut up.
Take this spear out of me. I can take you to people who would be interested in your help.
Can I know what kind of help first?
Make an insight.
What do we
check.
help it? All right. Insight, not horrible. All right, dirty 20.
Hey.
You gather pretty quickly these people who would be interested in your help likely wouldn't be interested in your overall health.
As in, I need to take a brain to the brain.
As in, if he led you where he was thinking, he expects you would not survive the encounter.
Why don't you just give us directions?
Does Deimos twist the spear a little bit? Like,
A chilling grasp it, start chilling it down a little bit. That only does 2d6, so that's a little less painful.
Yeah.
I'm like, I reckon
Rick,
you
Rick's
didn't,
is like
care,
my,
you didn't care much about your friends here. Cut them down real quick. You didn't seem to be bothered by that.
my mind's already pretty flayed at the moment, so
Devin looks the same way right now with old Smokey on.
Yeah. But this is
I appreciated the pun.
Chief Smokey.
Chief Ringo, baby,
so-
let's go.
Chief Smokey. I forget what Chief Ringo.
Where
we
is
gotta
this
remember
beetle?
Chief Ringo.
Yeah, we're
He's-
trying to be sneaky walking down the road with a fucking 9-foot
Beetle,
beetle behind
yeah.
us.
That's okay.
Oh god.
All
Who
right.
left him in the house?
Yeah.
He's got a lovely.
I can just
He's got a jungle.
speak with the
guard
animal and tell him where to go. You know, it's fine.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Big Druid vibes.
Be like, hey, just crouch down right here. Hide under that bush.
I'm sorry. You asked him. This was the last thing y'all asked him. I'm sorry. Y'all distracted me a little bit.
You raided the warehouse. He said there's things that should be known. How can we help? Make them known. And then he tried to ambush us.
Lead us straight.
It should be known now is a good time to spread the gospel. Have you heard the good news?
Oh.
Great.
Man. You know, I'm gonna need a perception check. 2 of them max. Don't matter if it's one with advantage or 2 separate. But or intimidation, persuasion, or intimidation checks, please.
Oh, persuasion. I have perception.
I could intimidate.
Sorry,
somebody.
I said perception first because I've had too many beers. That roll won't count.
Would I be able to do maybe deception?
Oh, never mind.
Because we don't really have an intent on helping his cause per se.
I would allow
Yeah.
it.
That's kind of the
Alright.
vibe I got from.
Deception. Ooh.
Can I
I
make
feel like
that?
Zephyr right now.
This is important. I'm gonna make that an 18 instead. A total of 18. A 14 plus his 4 for 18. Amos' eyes flash white. Don't say that.
Okay.
Or can we say advantage to the intimidation because we've been torturing him? Or
No. I'm just trying to process exactly how he might. It sounds because I don't know why my brain's having struggle grasping this. It sounds like you asked him for directions. That was the last thing.
More so like what was he trying to reveal in the warehouse? I feel like.
Oh, okay. For an 18.
What the heck do you mean? dude?
Yeah, no, for an 18, he reveals. He says that. How would he refer? We need to know how they are made. We need the secret, and we will get the secret. Truth cannot be hidden from truth. You gather, Echo, through your 18. He explains to you. You gather that he was trying to find out exactly how the autonomes were made. The secret behind how they were... Not necessarily the secret behind how they were made, but how the autonomes like A1 were given sentience, or at least something very close to sentience. And since that was your specific question, you kind of gather that was the reason for breaking into the warehouse, figuring out the secrets behind the autonomes.
What does the silver flame have to do with this?
I think that was just his hosts.
That's what I asked him. We're trying to clear the silver flame's name.
That's fair, yeah. I was gonna say mind flayers. Clearly they weren't working for the church, but I got you now.
Right.
The
Never
silver
know.
flame craves life, needs to control life. Is that not obvious?
Are you saying these brains are part of the silver flame?
Make another insight check, Echo.
Can I give him advantage since I'm sort of squatting over him?
I'm gonna need it.
You can give him advantage. You asked that before I saw the roll. Something.
I make it a
doesn't-
5.
Something doesn't line up, Echo.
I find it hard to believe that the silver flame is part of all this, and I kind of point to the burnt up flames, brains from the fireball.
Another kind of big grin from this gnome, who I like to imagine there's blood in his teeth at this point from being skewered through the middle. You have no proof otherwise. He flashes the emblem on his shield.
Oh, I guess I'll mosey over that direction. Say, I don't feel like I need proof to put you down. And I'll, my carapace will sort of shudder, almost predator style. It's almost like, scales or flitters are skirting all the way up my entire body. As my carapace turns black and my eyes sort of envelop that red that you've seen before. And I'm gonna look at him real intent and say, you got one more chance, brother. Who was we? What are you doing?
Brother.
Go ahead and make an intimidation check.
14.
Take an advantage because we're stabbing. Like,
So with the
Guidance?
14,
What's some guy?
guidance needs to be declared before a roll.
It says you can do it after.
Oh, does it?
When it pops in the chat. Before or after making the ability.
So it do.
I don't know if it's just me, but this guy seems to be shooting from the hip.
So an 18.
damn it!
So it do. An
I'm
18.
Good.
Man, you are really killing it today. I ain't ever giving you a cool scene ever again. Okay, an 18 with the guidance. Ooh, you see again, big bloody grin. You guys can tell at this point much more blood in his mouth than might have been a minute or two ago. And he tells you, we are the truth. We will get what we want. No knowledge, no truths can be hidden from us. Take what you will. He points to a room. I guess, Randy, it looks like you would have been able to see it. He points to...
I ran past it earlier anyway.
You did run past it earlier anyway. He points back to this room here. He says, take what you will. Truth prevails.
I feel like that's setting us up to get a brain lobotomied.
You wanted to
Alright.
bring us somewhere earlier. Where did you want to take us?
I'm not sure what you're referencing.
Earlier he said, if you want, I can take you to people who will talk to you about this. But oh god. Always
I
say
When
feel
I was
like-
talking about helping him out,
Yeah,
he was like, "Oh,
I feel like at this point with the shock waves and the twisting the spear and the intimidation, he just kind of chuckles and kind of laughs and he says, you will find your way there. He kind of gestures back to the room he just pointed at.
So when I ran past it earlier, would I have noticed anything important? I guess it was just like a quick little pass by. So.
If you guys kind of take a look in the direction he's pointing, it does seem to be what used to be the kitchen of this inn. You guys can kind of tell pretty quickly that seems to have been where these guys were making this was their war room, for lack of a better term. There seems to be some papers and some things like that scattered across the table. This is one of the only rooms that still seems to have a functioning table where most of the furniture isn't broken up. You gather this is where these guys conducted their operations. So this is where documents, papers, etc., would have lived.
take as much of that as we can. All of it, I suppose. But I still, I don't know. I want to try to. I don't have. Tech thoughts, I mean.
How do we accept a brain?
Except for Brain.
Yeah, like accept it into us. How do we allow one to enter us?
We have never has one of these gifts been given voluntarily. Should you wish to become void touched, you must speak with the one who cannot be known.
That doesn't help me if I can't know the guy.
Well, now we know about him, so it's too bad, ain't it?
I don't
Look
give
at
a
that.
single flying crap about Voldemort. I'm about to stab you in the throat.
So I can think at this point, y'all have been a couple of different places. You've intimidated him. You've lied to him. He's been shocked. He's speared with a spear. He's very nearly dead. And you guys definitely get this. At this point, there is no white left in his teeth. The last vicious smile kind of graces his face. And there's even, instead of tears, it is a line of blood. And he tells you that he has not lost. He shall join the void, and the void conquers all. For he dies.
May not have lost, but I was
Can't
lost.
die that
That
way.
sounds like some hipster sort of crap.
Doesn't it?
Shit, no, I won't let him die that way. I'm gonna cut his head off first.
I mean,
Yeah.
we can try to bring him back.
Do we have like a
Shocking
jar or
grass.
something, a bag, a canvas bag to like
I
try
would-
to catch one of these things?
I would like to point out, as he dies, the body shudders, shivers, and morphs into the shape of a shifter. They look a little gross in their genuine form. Usually they look like someone else. Do I have a picture I can
Changeling or a
use here?
shifter?
A changeling, pardon me.
Okay.
And actually, the D&D Beyond image is not quite so gross.
It's the one with the white face.
Yeah, it looks like it's got melatonoma or whatever that's called.
Lacking in that melanin, as our Lord and Savior Eminem said.
No, they look kind of like, I don't know what it was called. Michael Jackson had it where like part of him was very white and parts of him was
Particularly,
more darker. Yeah. I just put the picture in chat. Not well dressed like that. Hair probably not that long, but he does upon dying into its changeling form.
Ew.
So perhaps it was the actual Oswald dead in the park.
Or perhaps he was a fake.
Another changeling that he incinerated. How far down does it go? Deimos will. Changeling clearly does not have an intellect devour inside of it, correct?
Yes, when he dies, nothing from his skull. Since you asked, Deimos,
Damn.
you can make a investigation check for me, please.
Decent, Matt. By the way, I don't know if this ever matters. My passive perception, 9. My passive investigation, 13. So for whatever that's worth, like... I don't
21 is
know.
very good. 21 is very good. Perfect. So I like to think Deimos kind of like uses his foot to like roll the body for a second, just kind of in a brief moment of instinct, uses his foot to kind of move the body around, take a look at it. You do notice a very odd and rather large lump that takes up a large space in the back of his neck.
Oh, gross. Nope. Somebody lance it. I don't want to... I'm a little squeamish.
Yeah, that's not a normal changeling trait.
That sounds like you got one. I don't know. That sounded defensive and suspicious.
No. If it did, yeah, I didn't mean it to.
No, I'm mostly fucking with you.
My friend here
take a
knows
look
a lot
at it.
about changelings. It's fine. He's just got a history. It's cool.
I am one.
I guess everybody knows that now.
What?
Everyone knows it.
Oh yeah. Well, changeling.
Do you? Well,
I
None of
remember,
us are
but
normal.
I don't. I remember.
y'all knew
but
I
don't
could
think-
change my appearance. I don't know if I ever
I guess
came
we,
out and said, "Hey, I'm a changeling."
I guess we did know that
Or
for
do-
sure because you straight up offered it on the train. You were like, "Yeah, I could do this. It's fine."
Right, but y'all never saw the true form.
Not even
sure.
I.
Yeah.
The person
Y'all
you
have it,
revealed
yeah.
it to knows what you look like.
Drix just assumed you use like disguise stuff or something. He doesn't. He doesn't understand magic.
That is a fair point. Deimos will gesture to the changeling on the ground. Is this what your kind typically resemble? I apologize if this is insensitive, but this is my
In our true form, yes, minus the swelling there at the base of the neck. That's whatever these brain things are, I'm assuming.
we should investigate. If we leave it, it might burst out later.
Does anyone have a jar?
Actually, I think canonically I do have like vials and containers and shit. Yeah, I think I have like alchemist supplies or something.
Do you have an
I'm
alchemist?
thinking
kit,
like
yes?
a wide mouth mason jar
I
to
do.
fit this thing.
Oh yeah,
This
It's-
Abbey normal.
the ball brand on the top of the lid.
Okay, so it sounds like y'all are going to perform essentially what is an autopsy. I will
A
need
brainerectomy.
Yeah, yeah. I won't.
Brainectomy.
Well, I will actually ask for a check. 2 rolls maximum. Doesn't matter if
Medicine?
it's medicine or survival.
Can I do a
I'm
sleight of
not
hand
strong
check?
at either.
I
Who
would
has-
also allow.
I
sleight
got a
of hand.
+2 on both.
Oh man, I'll give you a sleight of hand check all
And
day,
then-
baby.
If
Yeah.
you've got, let's say,
Oh my god, I rolled an 8.
I'll give you advantage. I can assist you. I dab his forehead with like a handkerchief to like stop the. Wait, he doesn't sweat. He's a bug. I realize I'm being more of a hindrance than a help,
Well, there you go. An 18.
but for some reason
That's
it works.
When Demos stops dabbing your head, you're able to see long enough to kind of cut out this very odd section in the back of his neck. Randy, you find this was mostly just to see how long it took you. And once Demos gets done bothering you, it doesn't take you very long to cut a slice down the middle from his hairline to the bottom of his neck. You manage to do a little bit of cutting to eventually. You guys watch as after a couple of minutes of work with an 18 doesn't take him too long. He manages to pry loose this very odd, thin, kind of metal plate. For us as people, we would think of it almost like a chip. It looks a lot like you would imagine a computer chip. It is made mostly of metal. It's not quite that futuristic looking, but you guys can see that it is a very thick plate of metal. That the ends closer to his throat. This seems to have been buried in his spinal column in the back of his neck. The ends closer to his throat are very thin. They seem to come to sharp points. The ends towards the back of his neck are thicker. You can see a couple of other pieces of metal wrapping around it. It is supremely odd looking. Just in the way that it's made. There are no runes on it, which is a little odd for things of this nature. Your identify spell, Demos, doesn't actually pick
Not
anything
actually
up.
magical, it's
You
technical.
gather through that it is psionic and not magical.
Interesting. Whatever this is, it's not your run-of-the-mill stuff. If I had to wager, I know that typically intellective powers are commonly used by mind players, but a number of psionic entities have their uses. This does clear the church's name, so we will get our payout through that. I hate that we couldn't help Oswald. I guess he was long gone, and there was never a chance of that.
I don't hate it one bit.
I don't know. There's something. I imagine the way it went down is that this one encountered Oswald through whatever means. Maybe they had been working together, perhaps not. This person took over Oswald's identity to infiltrate this group and contaminate them. These things. This is my stab at
Chances
it.
are they weren't working together. He probably just took over Oswald.
That's my mindset. I'm wondering how much we'll learn from these plans back here. If this is just for the eco-terrorists and not for these mental fucktards.
You dealt with some espionage before. You reckon the burnt body was Oswald, and this man was just assuming his identity? You can't really
I'm
trace
thinking
somebody
so.
who's burnt to a crisp.
I think we're looking at a body snatcher situation. I'm not certain on that, but that's where I'm leaning.
I think he was talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
Say that again?
I was just saying, you worked in espionage a bit. I reckon that you think that it's likely that the body was burnt to a crisp, and that was Oswald. This man was assuming his identity. There's no shot this was the original.
Yeah, there's no way that I would think Oswald was a changeling. And I don't know. Y'all ever a burn notice regarding agents, spies?
Oh yeah.
Just think it's kind of funny that Oswald was burnt, but I had
Right.
recently got information about an agent who had gotten a burn notice, and I don't know for sure, but there's a high probability that this might have been the guy. We knew him as Surge. I'd have to talk to my contact and maybe find out for sure, but
Echo,
I'm thinking this might have been him.
you could also search the body for any identifying marks.
I was gonna ask. Yeah. Need a roll for that?
Yeah, make an investigation check for me, please. I know your investigation's not great. I understand.
Just to be clear, you're talking
Hell
about
yes, bro.
the boy.
Ooh, baby.
Oh.
10-10.
That's 2 tonight.
Just to be clear, you're talking
That's
about
a
the
nat 20,
changeling
by the
was
way.
the agent or the
Yes.
or Oswald? Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Yeah, I think the changeling Surge took over Oswald's body after the burn. As far as what happened at the crime scene, I couldn't tell us any more than what we already know, but
So I'm jamming to some music. So you
Whatever.
do. So I'll say you do find a couple of things that most of you would recognize as espionage items. He does have something to disguise himself. There seems to be so he does have a where to go. Devin's notes. Where'd you go? Hold on,
Let's use-
real quick. Devin's notes. Help me out. Echo, you find a wand of magic missile. You find that wand of web that he had used earlier. A featherfall charm. And perhaps maybe a charm that allows him to disguise himself. Obviously you probably all would know as a shifter that he doesn't exactly need that, but you gather it was a fallback kind of deal. You also find, Echo, you guys may or may not remember, you find a golden coin with no denomination marked on it. No, usually it's the old King Galifar, who's been dead for several years, that's minted on most of the coins in Eberron. This is another coin. You guys, Marcus showed you guys one of these, I think. Golden coin with no print on it. Just a plain, solid gold coin on his person. As well as something I messaged you about. With that 20,
That's us.
with that 20, I'm going to go ahead and roll in there that when you guys go check out this back room back here, there is a pretty solid amount of paperwork. Come on, Devin, you wrote down what this paperwork has on it. Okay. Okay. For that 20, I would think that you gather quite a few papers, Echo, that you can identify pretty quickly as being important. The level of cipher that has been applied to these papers is not. I keep wanting to use the word unique. I would say with the 20 Echo, you're able to look at the various papers strode around the table,
Right.
and you're able to pick out the ones that you can realize are critical. They're heavily ciphered as opposed to kind of ciphered. It may take a little bit of time. There could be some rolls to see how long it takes you guys to determine what exactly is on these documents. At a glance, I would say that Echo, within that 20, you put together that there's a lot of information here. A lot more information than you would expect a very amateur group to be able to gather. There is someone, something, some organization that is helping or guiding or otherwise feeding information to this group.
So the lump in the back of his neck, that was a brain thing?
It was.
A piece of metal.
I'm gonna call it a chip. Chips wouldn't exist in this time, but I'm gonna call it a chip that was implanted into his spinal column.
I'm pretty certain he used that to buy groceries, and it was also the mark of the beast. That's my guess.
So what we don't know, though, is whether he was being controlled by those or not.
You're not entirely certain what it does at this time.
But I would tell the group with certainty this is the surge that I was referring to. This is the burned agent who was let go from the group.
What granted you certainty?
That gold coin is the same organization that I represent. And I would kind of leave it at that. And I don't know if I need a sleight of hand check, but I'm definitely trying to prevent the group from peering too closely at the gold coin, but not sus.
I don't identify it, but if I pick up on the guarded nature of it, I'm not gonna pry. I will ask. The ciphered paperwork, I assume, is leaning more toward being from the psionic organization as opposed to the eco-terrorist front. I don't know if these are how intertwined these are, or
Yeah, and I guess that kind of, with Devin said it would take us some time to decipher.
To uncipher it, yeah. I would say that as a Demos probably leans towards the idea that from what you gathered from seeing these guys, from fighting these guys, from the fact that Devourers slipped out of their heads, they probably weren't responsible for a lot of the cipher that you're looking at.
understood. But what was that?
Nothing. If it's not the psionics, then we're looking at.
Oh, you seem
trade
really
secrets.
tense.
I definitely
How
forgot to mute or something, you know.
Listen here, brother. How
I will
about we
also-
just go have a drink and
Hulkamania.
forget about this whole thing?
I
Echo,
will
I-
also mention before I turn off this recording here in a second, you guys do find in the inn somewhere. I imagine I haven't revealed the rooms. There are some rooms where like beds used to be and stuff. You guys do find 3 crates of mixed currency, meaning that like each crate has some gold, some silver, some copper, but each one of these crates are worth 750 gold pieces. So for whatever reason, perhaps hopefully will become relevant. You'll will figure out eventually. There do seem to be quite a bit of loose coinage stored up in crates in this inn.
I assume we take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Very much. I'm not leaving it here. No. The next squatter that comes through here, God no. I've got fucking scrolls to buy.
Yeah,
damn
so
it.
say Deimos looks at it and he just sees scrolls. That's all he sees, just scrolls.
I see
and
magical
names.
items. Next long road trip we have, we're gonna get a couple of things. Like,
I think it's acceptable that we take it.
Yeah, we've earned it at this point.
I'd say he was burned by organization, so there's
Oh,
no.
do you think it's acceptable we take it?
May I ask why he was burned? What did he do? What caused?
I don't know for sure. I've never dealt with him specifically or in any mission.
Do you think
You
your
guys
contact?
know Chance. He happened to pass along the message that there was a burned agent in the area. And I didn't really put two and two together until now.
I mean, who saw this coming? That gives me good hope though, because I never would have known you were a changeling, and here's another one. While that's a terrifying thought, just as if we live in a city of hundreds of millions of people, it is also comforting to know that most likely people won't see you coming. So that's a
He's the boogeyman.
glass half full kind of.
This does make me wonder a little bit though. Any idea what he did to get burned, or what you got to do to get burned? Not out of curiosity, but more to make sure that my personal friend Echo does not wind up on the other end of this. Know what I'm saying?
I've been doing what I can for the agency. I don't think that I'm on any sort of thin ice, so to speak. The burn notice is usually just to kind of pass along to the other agents like myself that if we come across him, we take care of him, which we did here.
You'll be well rewarded for your efforts. Because you fucking skewered him to the ground. If I can tell Chase the story, I'd be happy to. Like pretty badass. Also, we're getting that spear,
I don't know
right?
why.
Oh yeah, dude.
I don't know why he was burned yet. I will try to maybe find out more info. I don't know if it's related to these psionics. If the agency realized that this was a weak point, if he did do something against the agency. We will be looking into this, and at least now we know that the church was not involved.
Money. I'll look at Echo and I'll just be like, Ed, I'll give a crap about that guy. If we ever catch wind that you're in trouble, please let me know.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I'm not sure that the five of us would be able to stop that.
You questioning me? Boom.
No, but we could get beyond the ring when nobody else can. We can get you the hell out of town. If we gotta fly to a no export zone, we will do that.
Man,
It might,
is the world, baby.
Skip the galaxy
it
for
might
a couple
delay
weeks,
it.
let the heat cool off.
But we are the inevitable. So
Y'all are the inevitable. I like that a lot. I am going to stop the recording. We're going to stop the session there.